Hub, a Beasley Media Group station. Sports Hub headlines.
Celtics are now only 16-10 at home this season after a 127-120 loss to Dallas that really wasn't that close at TD Garden last night. Klay Thompson scored 23 of his game-high 25 points in the first half of the winners. Spencer Dinwiddie added 22 off the bench. As for the Celtics, Joe Mazzulla sat the starters with over 9 minutes left and his team down 24. And then the bench made the game a lot closer in the end.
Yeah, I mean, they played great. I mean, they played with energy. They played with, they executed on both ends of the floor, and they did their job. So it's a credit to them, but they played with they were just ready to play when they went out there, so it was good.
Celtics have tonight off. They visit the Knicks tomorrow evening. In other team news, ESPN is reporting that with a couple of open roster spots to play with, Brad Stevens yesterday signed free agent wing Torrey Craig. Also, both Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown were drafted onto Shaquille O'Neal's team for the All-Star Tournament, which is in a little over a week in San Francisco. The NBA trade deadline came and went yesterday. Celtics did not make another move. The biggest deal of the day came from Cleveland, who got DeAndre Hunter from Atlanta for Karis LeVert, Georgia's Niang, 3 second-round draft picks, and a pair of pick swaps. Among the other deals in the league, the Memphis Grizzlies shipped out Marcus Smart and a first-round pick to the Washington Wizards. This was part of a 3-team trade with Sacramento. Buffalo quarterback Josh Allen is the NFL MVP this year, and the Pro Football Hall of Fame announced its class of 2025 last night. It includes Eric Allen, Jared Allen, Antonio Gates, and Sterling Sharp. Adam Vinatieri and Eli Manning both missed out in their first year of eligibility. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Boston Prolotherapy. Don't let joint pain keep you off the court, course, or trail. Eliminate that pain with Dr. Franke of Boston Prolotherapy. I'm John Wallach of Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 6:30.
To us, Boston pride runs deep.
I'm a Bostonian!
This is Boston's Home for Sports.
Bow, bow, bow!
98.5 The Sports Hub.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Toucher
Fred Toucher on Instagram. Follow and see dog humping videos.
and Hardy
I'm going to withhold sex!
on 98.5.
Hello.
Hey there.
Yo. Can we use this for the radio? What? Let me hear you say, oh. Na 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 na.
Crush me, mommy!
Just not enough booty to go around?
Say my name.
I'm a robot.
I'm the son of the post. I'll chase you around a little bit.
Wow.
Holy smokes! Yeah.
Instagram.
I want to dip it in. What?
Toucher and Hardy
Watch Daddy and Uncle Freddie.
Knocking back some fat.
Having some fun.
on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Let's go.
Aqua Uki, Damar Iskoda, Notre Dame, Monster Store.
Good morning. We are Toucher and Hardy, brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Our coverage of Super Bowl 59 is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more with FanDuel. You can watch us on YouTube. Search 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube and subscribe, and then you're on the algorithm. Hop into the chat and just have at it. And what else? 617-779-0985. Today's a very special day because our friend Steven Singer, who we've never met, but he advertises here, we are having an honor, and what a timely contest, because last night Bill Belichick and his young lady were out at the
Isn't it wonderful? Is that planets align like that?
Two kids in love.
at the what was it, the NFL Awards,
NFL honors.
NFL honors.
NFL honors.
Yeah.
So they were out there, and they so this is a contest. It's May December romances, and the people will be in here, and we'll meet all the couples, and it will be lots and lots of fun. And maybe one of you will become inspired to leave your significant other and go get younger, or older for that matter.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe you find yourself a very old woman, You know, I was Hardy and I, right before we went on the air, we were talking about someone we both sort of knew that has untimely death like over 20 years ago, and I was curious about how he died. I had forgotten, and then there's a wonderful website called findagrave.com, and it's the logo for findagrave.com is a wonderful spooky cartoon kind of font.
Oh,
a
yeah,
purple font.
With a question mark.
Yeah,
I've used that.
It's
I've
like
used
a
that
lot of
one,
fun.
sure.
So if you just want to find a grave,
Yeah.
because you think it would look like a mortuary or something. It would
No.
mortuaries don't usually use comic font.
Yeah.
Or like color in the letters.
We're having fun. We're
Yeah,
having
just-
fun looking for dead people.
Yeah, just find a grave.
Yeah.
Find a grave to party on.
I've used that website more than I care to admit, actually. Yeah.
Well, okay, so give me context of you using it.
It was one of those deals where I couldn't sleep, and like we all do, we use Bob Ross to go to sleep. So where is Bob Ross buried? And he's somewhere in Florida, if I remember correctly.
Okay, so you are interested in like where they're actually buried.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because
Bruce Lee, for example, I knew I was going out. I knew I was going out to visit my family in Seattle. Bruce Lee is buried out there, and so I used that to figure out where he was, and then I visited his gravesite.
That's interesting. I wonder if I've been to the Arlington Cemetery, and then I don't know if I've ever been to someone's specific grave. I think probably when I was in Ireland, they took us to some grave of someone who I didn't care about. Or when I was in France, that probably happened. But I don't know if I've ever sought out. I don't think I've ever sought out someone's grave. In fact, I don't know where my family members that are dead are buried.
Really?
And I've been to their funerals.
You've never been to any famous person's gravesite?
Not specifically to see the famous person's
Really?
gravesite. Yeah.
I was in Paris. I saw Jim. I went to Jim Morrison's.
Yeah, I don't care. for the
Oscar
Doors.
Wilde buried in the same cemetery.
I know I should like Oscar Wilde. I'm unfamiliar with his work. I know that he had many quips and he was a fancy boy, but
Jim Morrison, very well decorated. People, they have it set. They have structures set up for a line type of thing. Jim Morrison's.
That's insufferable.
Yeah.
For his major artistic output. With how many Doors albums? That's oof.
Oh, I celebrate the entire catalog, so I really, don't have the number off the top of my head. It's just that, all of them are so good.
There's a documentary you can watch it. Danny Fields. He went to Harvard when he was 16, but he was on the peripheral of the Warhol stuff, and he was the Ramones' first manager. He is this brilliant guy that kind of just floated around all these huge cultural trends. And he was around for so Warhol, then punk, then it moved on from there. He was around all this stuff, and he has a story that I've read several times, and it's in this documentary. Danny says about how when he was in L.A., he introduced Nico. Nico from the Velvet Underground. She's a beautiful blonde woman. Nico to Jim Morrison because he just wanted to see how two idiots would seem together, and he said that it ended up with Jim Morrison naked on the roof, threatening to throw himself off the roof, and Nico shooting up in a bedroom.
Nice.
And he said it couldn't have gone worse. It went as bad as he thought it would go. He said these two incredibly narcissistic, beautiful dummies is how he put it.
You know what? 6 albums. That's 3 more than I thought from the Doors.
In what length of time?
4 years.
All classics. You got to pump out 2 a year, just like Kiss. I mean, all killer, no filler. Mm-hmm. You put out 6 albums in 4 years. You ain't there ain't a dud on any of those. I mean, remember Kiss used to put out 2 albums a year, and if you go back, before I was alive. But if I go back and revisit the Kiss albums, because the first one came out in '72, which is solidly before I was alive. But if you go back and revisit those albums, the first Kiss album is a pretty solid album. Then they get very spotty, very almost like they weren't trying very hard.
No.
It's true.
No.
It's true.
I don't believe
And they did not have a lot of success until Alive, so there you go. And Alive might have come out right after I was born, so that one counts. That one counts.
Let me tell you who was not trying very hard. Is anyone tasked with cleaning this studio?
No.
Because in light of the fact that we were going to have a client in here today, Steven Singer, and of course all of our contestants for the May-December romance, Nick and I started poking around and, getting chairs and headphones and everything set up. And we said, boy, this place is really, really disgusting. And
What is?
Where?
Yeah.
Specifically.
Okay. Has anyone ate off of it? No, seriously, where?
So, in front of the computer terminals where like Andrew Callahan and Bert Breer and these guys sit. And part of it is like people haven't been sitting there for like a week now. So like stuff is just kind of collecting over there. But that much dust and grime and filth shouldn't accumulate in a week's time, like in the Zolak Maserati position. But it has. So Nick and I spent, I don't know, good 10, 15 minutes just walking around with spray bottles and paper towel, wiping, spraying everything. I don't know if the equipment's going to work.
For the
after
guests?
this. Because we're going to have people in here. Yeah, it was like
look
I
at
would.
you two. That's very nice.
I would have been embarrassed to have someone sit down and look at the stuff that was sitting there.
You don't do a little cleaning in your home when you have people over?
In my home, I don't care about here. No, not at all about
These
here.
people are our guests.
They are.
No, it would never have occurred to
Marty,
me.
I think
I'm not as good a person. He's a wonderful person. He's a better person than me. Never would have even occurred to me.
Well,
I wouldn't have cared.
Credit to John, who was typing furiously away on his like thousands of words that he types every morning. Yeah, it would drive you absolutely insane hearing the rapid fire typing that goes on for a solid 40 minutes before you get here, Fred.
But you try to knock those out every day.
Is that why you wear headphones while you're in here?
He looked up once. He goes, "Do you guys need any help?" Yeah. And Nick and I are like, "No, you go ahead and keep working on your novel. I don't know what it is you're doing over there."
You know, he's first of all he has his musings for his website, his morning musings.
It's called Bird Brains
Yep.
with a Z.
.com.
It's then it's I saw a strip of paper on the side of 128. Like if you want to go buy that, it looks like it's good floor material. There's
significant dip in the power wires off the Mass Pike.
Yeah,
the
with this
Framingham
snow
exit.
Yeah, with this snow, I mean, a lot of the wires are going to be
cold.
sagging.
They're too cold this time of year.
Yeah, and it's
no Pershing.
It's
Caution.
like, for all of you older birds that have stayed here over this winter.
Heads up, fellow line sitters.
Yeah. Until all the young bucks get back up here this spring.
That's right.
You know, let's take advantage of all this trash.
We're on the clock. It's
Yeah.
almost April.
Yeah.
Normally, I'd say the telephone lines in Natick look like a saggy tennis net, but they've got nothing on what I saw yesterday.
Have you been to Wellesley recently?
Oh, it's criminal.
Always straight in that rich community.
Hey, there's
They
some
keep track of those power lines.
some dopey kid dropped half a peanut butter and jelly sandwich on the sidewalk at this park in Wellesley.
By the time you read this, it will most likely be gone.
I can't eat the whole thing, so I decided that it's like a Facebook thing for birds. You want to? So now I have this big list of people who died of drug overdoses. This is kind of depressing. Remember when John Entwistle died? Like where the Who were?
Yeah.
Like they were doing like Vegas residencies and stuff.
I was there. We were supposed to see them at the Hard Rock, and well, that show got canceled. So instead, being the sensitive souls that they were, they postponed the tour for 3 days. And instead, we went to see them in L.A. at the Hollywood Bowl. I think it was 3-4 days after he died.
So he
New bass player. Let's go.
remember they were like on the back nine, like well into the back nine when John Entwistle died. Mm-hmm. Guess how old he was when he died?
Oh,
if you say under 55, I'm going to be upset.
No, but I think he was only like 60.
He was 57.
Oh, Jesus.
God damn.
And he had been like old for
What
20
the-
years.
What the hell?
God damn it.
He was 57?
Yeah, he died in 2002. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
He was born in 1944. He died in 2002. He was 57 years old. Isn't it funny? No. Like he seemed ancient. It almost seemed like it wasn't a big deal. He had like whores and drugs and stuff. Like he was partying. And it almost, I remember thinking like, good for him. You know, he's like old and he went out with like drugs and hookers. Like good for him. Like he went out like a rock star. And now I look at it, he was 57. He wasn't even at retirement age.
Okay, I just double-checked it. So he died on June 27th. The show that I saw was July 1st.
Good Lord.
And they had to go from Vegas to L.A.
Shake it off, rub some sand on it, throw some dirt on it, get back in there.
Wait, Coolio's dead?
Is that right?
Did you say Coolio or Julio?
Coolio.
Oh,
Julio from Julio Down by the Schoolyard, that famous Paul Simon song.
Oh, now I could do this all live.
Oh, no. Julio is Mike Francesa's driver. He's dead?
Stop it. Coolio is dead.
Oh.
He is? He died in September of 2022.
No, this will make you feel better. Guess how old Coolio was. This will make you feel better.
35.
No,
Coolio, if he died in
2022.
Oh, he's older than us. So when he died, he was at least 53.
59.
Wow.
That got to make you feel a little better.
Yes.
Coolio did not like me.
Oh.
Not at all.
What'd you do?
I didn't give him the respect he felt he deserved in an interview, and he called me a piece of ass and all this stuff.
Okay.
Discovered
Much to my
unresponsive on the
delight.
bathroom floor. Pronounced dead at the scene. Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, fentanyl, heroin, meth.
Yeah.
Oof. It's not good.
No.
Oh, rest in peace, Coolio. I had to bring the room down on a Friday, Fred.
Hey, you brought. Did you bring up Keith or did I? So there you go.
That's true.
This will make you feel better. G.G. Allen was 36. He just looked really young.
I would not have guessed. I can't believe John Entwistle was. What did you say?
57.
That's not possible.
Oh, my God.
It's not possible.
Oh my God. This is funny, and then I'll stop. How old was Truman Capote when he died?
Truman Capote. Oh God. Well, can you tell me what year he died? 88, 90?
84.
84. All right. So.
Oh, you're going to be able to do it because of the book. All right, John. How old? When you think of Truman Capote, or Capote, I guess like he died, right?
Right.
Guess he died of drugs.
Okay.
Guess how old he was when he died?
60.
59. See, I thought he was way older than that because he just seemed like an old man. Like when you look back at it, he was.
See, but the problem, if you would ask me that first, I would have gotten that way wrong.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because he was the kid in To Kill a Mockingbird. He was like
Right.
one of the characters is based on him.
Yeah, if you would ask me when did Truman Capote die at the beginning of this, I would have said much older.
Yeah, but he was 59.
Yeah.
All right.
I guess that makes sense.
I guess that wasn't as effective as I thought it'd be.
No.
I'll stick with it.
I will watch that Capote movie with Philip Seymour Hoffman every time it's on.
I don't think I've seen it.
I have never seen it.
It doesn't matter what point in the movie it's at. Yep, now I'm watching.
I tried to watch the miniseries where he's a character about those like rich New York families.
I didn't get what it was supposed to be about. And
Yeah,
I'm just,
exactly.
No, I'm not going to do that.
I didn't care. None of those people interest me.
No, I can't.
All right. Well, if you want to go to Wikipedia, there's a list of people that have died of drugs.
It's great.
And it's very, 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 very long.
Terrific.
And, you'll find some names. You'll take a trip down memory lane. Margot Kidder, she died in 2018.
I was watching Superman 2 for
But
a
it's
minute the
suicide.
other day.
I don't know why.
That's Margot Kidder, right?
Yeah.
Lois
Yep.
Lane from
Lois Lane,
the
yep.
the first Supermans.
Yep.
Rest in peace. All due respect, not attractive.
No.
Now, Margot Kidder wasn't particularly attractive.
Don't get that one. How old was she when she died? In what year, please, Fred?
2018, she was 69.
Huh.
So she was old. John.
Drug overdose, really?
No, she's suicide, but I don't know why that's on here. This is a list of people who've died of drug addiction. All right, very good. Well, that's a lot of fun in the morning.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. I mean, we had some fun. Marilyn Monroe.
Oh, she was young.
Yeah, that was no
She was
suicide.
what, 35?
That was no accident.
She was
That
36.
That was no overdose. That was no suicide. We know what happened there.
Joe DiMaggio never got over it.
He never did.
Never got over it.
She wasn't afraid of an ugly man.
The Kennedys were over it. That's why she had to go.
That's the theory.
She had Joe DiMaggio and the
Arthur
writer,
Miller.
Arthur Miller, who was no handsome man.
Mm-hmm.
She got so sick of like good-looking dudes. That's my kind of lady. She got so sick of good-looking guys. She's like, give me like a nice,
Boring.
ugly guy.
It's boring, the good-looking guys.
You should be pathologically honest on these profiles, Fred, and said, are you sick of dating just good-looking guys?
Yeah, that's what I essentially do.
Yeah.
I say, look, you don't. I can turn the lights off. We can wait a long time to consummate this thing.
Do you,
Let's become good friends first.
do you have a couple of like store plastic tags still on that hoodie? Do you see those, John? Like right at the collar, at the top of the collar. What are those things?
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
What the hell?
Interesting.
What have you done?
He's brought his dress
maybe
hoodie.
Maybe that is something.
He's brought his dress hoodie for
I
the
think
event.
during the
Shut up.
during the
Yeah,
break.
it's my clean dress hoodie that is obviously fresh from the dry cleaner.
I don't want you ripping those off during the break. Walk in there and ask if young Nicholas will gently cut them off so you don't damage the fabric.
Hello.
Ripping them out.
Pocket knife.
Oh, I don't want your. I don't want your.
Yeah.
I don't want to not get to have to get a shot.
Yeah, get that dull blade near his throat.
Yeah, exactly.
See if you can.
How dare you? I clean my knife.
That shaky hand. Lord knows what last time you ate. All right, we'll be back with what happened last night. The Celtics in a barn burner last night. My son was at that game. We'll be back in just a moment.
You're listening to
We're Toucher and Hardy. What happened last night is brought to you by Leonard Hair Transplant Associates, where your hair doesn't have to be a game of what happened. So change your lettuce and change your life with Dr. Matthew Lepresti at 1-800-GET-HAIR.
Well, let's begin. As the Dallas Mavericks were in town to take on your Boston Celtics, you said Milo was at the game, Fred.
Milo and his friends went to the game.
How about
They
that?
took the public transit to the game. It was a $100 get-in with fees. $50 ticket, $100 ticket. It became a $100 ticket.
Boy, that's good for them. And, I mean, I don't know if they were expecting to how long ago did they get these tickets? Were they expecting?
Yesterday.
Okay. So they did not buy them with hopes of seeing Luka Doncic, which is good. Hopefully they weren't expecting to see Anthony Davis because he did not play. But the Celtics were out there in full force, and Kristaps Porzingis out there getting a lead almost early for Boston.
Tatum bounce pass, Porzingis straightaway three switch.
Boy, he is seeing that hoop and seeing it well.
Actually, I believe that was the 1-point lead for the Celtics. They made it 4-3 early in the game.
It's odd that you would pick out the 1-3 that Porzingis made last night. That was good.
Or the one time they held the 1-point lead. Did they have a lead after that, John?
No.
That was it.
That was it.
That was it. And, I mean, let's give credit where it's due. Kyrie Irving, who was embarrassed off the floor facing his former team in last year's finals, he did plenty of damage last night. How many did Kyrie finish with, John?
19.
19 points.
He really struggled to shoot the basketball early.
He did, but then he figured it out.
Kyrie lobs it into Gafford. Attacks. Goes back out to Exum. Steps to his right. Takes the three. No go to the shot clock buzzer. Rebound. Takes a funny pinball right into the hands of Kyrie Irving, who sticks the 10-footer back. And sometimes it's just your night. Dallas is out playing the Celtics in every possible way, but they've also gotten all the bounces. They're up by 19 here.
Yeah.
They couldn't miss either. You got guys like Exum and guys that would not be playing, sticking threes and making contested shots. It was, as Sean said, their night.
Yes. Now, the only interesting part of the game came when the starters for the Celtics came out. At that point, I believe they were down 26.
They were down 114-90 with 9:30 to go in the game.
All right, so 24 points. Celtics would go on a 14-0 run with the likes of, well, Pritchard was out there.
Yep.
But tell me who else was on the floor. Keita.
Jordan Walsh, Peyton Pritchard, Neemias Queta, Sam Hauser, Drew Peterson. Those were your five. And they proceeded to score 14 straight points against Dallas' starters. Jason Kidd left his starters in. And the Celtics bench, it was a 14-0 run, 19-3 run. And all of a sudden, it's a 10-point game.
Yeah, it was a 10-point game, yeah.
It was impressive. I mean, just to see them out there. And as it was described on the broadcast last night, Dallas kind of went into their fourth quarter offense. We're not going to push the ball anymore. We're not going to do
They were
much.
waiting for the shot. They went into it very early. Like, they really started slowing things down. But something to be said for fresh legs. Something to be said for fresh legs off the bench.
I mean, that and, guys like Hauser, who you look at and he's like, okay, he's eminently replaceable or dismissible, but given the opportunity to hit a shot.
For Hauser, straightaway return of Pritchard. Right wing. Pritchard bounce pass. Hauser relocates. Pretty good look at a three. Down to 10.
That's what it got it down to 10 was 122-112. But after that, all Dallas needed was another bucket or two, which is what they got. And we'll go on to get the win last night. 127-120 over the Celtics.
Why is Xavier Tillman not playing?
Good question. He played maybe the first 2 weeks of the season and was kind of in the back end of that rotation, and no one has seen him since. I don't know. He sits there at the end of the bench. He sits there in extreme garbage time. There was a thought that they would trade him to clear a roster spot, but he's still here. I have no idea why he's not playing.
Does he make enough money to? Was it worth trading him?
Not really. It would be more to clear a roster spot than any cap room or any penalty.
Because they traded Springer, and then the thing was that the reason they did it is that sure he made $4 million, but with the luxury tax it's like $15 million. And it reminded me when a job tells you like, sure, this is your salary, but with health care it's like
right.
double that.
Tillman makes 2.2.
So think about it. You're making double the money.
Yeah.
You don't have to buy sneakers. Those are purchased for you.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and look, we'll give you miles.
Jason Tatum, by the way, he was out there for 29 minutes last night as the starters did not play there for a good chunk at the end of the game. Finished with 17 points. He was a minus 22.
And now you hear national people talking about how this is the Mavericks free of Doncic and the way that he makes them play.
Come on.
Well, and look at the smiles on their faces. I'll guess what sport the person who said, look at the smiles on their faces played and in what league. And they look at the smiles on their faces. They had wonderful smiles on their faces, which is all you needed to know. But, and by the way, they're preparing for anarchy when that first home game back in Dallas. They're preparing for like all kinds of stuff.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, to which I would say, who Dallas doesn't care about anything except the Cowboys. You're fine.
The best part was people videotaping the protest outside America Airlines Arena, and there were about 20 people there.
Yeah, and like all losers. Like, what are you protesting?
Standing next to that Dirk Nowitzki statue. We're upset. Okay.
Yeah, get a job.
Yeah.
It's the middle of the day during the week. Stop with this nonsense. Yeah, they're really thinking it's going to be raining boos in Dallas. Those notorious Dallas basketball crowds that couldn't have been bothered going to games, 15 years ago. That's what they need to do.
Anthony Davis seemed to be enjoying himself on the bench last night.
If I'm Anthony Davis, I'm thrilled. If I'm Anthony Davis, I'm glad. I'm not upset I'm in Dallas. I'm not upset that I'm away from LeBron. I'm not upset I'm away from J.J. Redick. I'm fine. I'm getting my money. This is all fine with me. Dallas is good a chance as L.A. does. So there you go.
There was one back and forth last night between Joe Mazzulla and Gary Washburn.
Defensively, you made adjustments to Thompson, but Marshall and Dinwiddie and Exum, is that because of confidence now, that those guys have confidence that they're doing that? Like,
I have no idea about those guys' confidence.
Yeah, but just like...
I've never spoken to them.
No, I know, Joe.
He's never spoken to them. Him and Gary really have at it.
Joe's been a bit snippy. He's been a bit short over the last couple
He's
months.
exuding confidence.
Yes.
He started with Zolak and Bertrand the other day. Now this was, I think, the day after he started his press conference with, "Don't ask me about the trade. I don't care."
Right.
So Bertrand said, "So let's talk about that trade." Like, I don't care. He goes, "Come on, the biggest trade is the biggest news in sports. Come on."
I don't care. Yes, you do. You absolutely care.
You have to. Are you a coach in this league? You don't care.
Yeah, you played the team in the finals last year. You don't care. Yeah. It's your job. It's like you. It's like if another morning show came into the market or something like that. Like, do you care? And no, I don't care. Well, of course you care. It involves your work. Like, I care, and I don't even like the NBA, and of course, and I care. So that I don't care thing is I don't buy that for a second. And he doesn't talk to the players on the other teams. Why? They'll never be able to get free agents.
How about Kyrie Irving and what he had to say after that? What a long, strange trip it's been, Kyrie.
Innocence coming to the league, fresh-eyed, wide-eyed, play a few years, end up leaving, Cleveland and going to Boston, Brooklyn. Like, my journey is not perfect, but I've been able to make sense of it, take accountability for my decisions, and move forward with, some great people around me and, understand that I'm human too. I'm going to make mistakes, but it's not my place to judge or place my anger on anyone else.
He wasn't getting booed last night. I didn't hear
a little bit. I heard
it
it at the end.
I heard it at the end, too.
Oh, at the end?
Yeah,
because he wasn't getting booed the whole game.
No, it wasn't as bad as it has been in the past, and I think the fact that the Celtics beat him for the championship kind of alleviated it, but at the end, there was some booing.
I found him oddly likable going into the finals last year and the way he kind of conducted himself. I know you weren't fooled by it, John, or you didn't buy in, but I mean, I can only react to how the guy was acting at that moment and try not to hold his past transgressions against him, and he was fine. He was fine.
He is magically changed when he has reached his last port of call. He understands that Dallas was the last team that was going to take him and give him a long-term contract, and magically he turned into this great guy. Do I think that he's learned from his mistakes? Sure. I'm sure that now, as he's gotten older, that he has been enlightened a little bit, but I'm not fooled by the fact that he found himself when he realized that no other team was going to take him for the money that he wanted.
Well, there's plenty of players in all sports that have not used that to get in their way of their own ego. Like there's a bunch of guys who didn't care. Hundreds of stars who didn't care.
Sure.
I mean, there's been a lot of people who haven't been able to get it together, who never get it together. So if you believe Kyrie Irving even acknowledged that this was his last chance to get a long-term deal, that's at least something.
Look,
because a lot of these dudes
I'm sure
coming out of high school are insane.
I'm sure now that he's the elder statesman on that roster, he provides guidance to the young people he's now going to be playing with. But, I hear him say, I've taken accountability for everything. I don't think so. I don't think you've taken accountability how you helped to blow up that Brooklyn franchise. And I don't think you've taken accountability for all of your actions here either. So, look.
In all honesty, what would you like him to do?
I don't think there's anything he can do, to be honest with you.
But he can't.
Not to convince me, no.
So you're upset that he hasn't taken accountability for what he did here, but there's nothing he can do to take accountability?
I'm not upset that he hasn't taken accountability here.
But that's what you said.
Well, it's not what I said. I said it's interesting he said that when it's not true. I'm not upset about it. I'm not enraged by him.
No, of course you're not enraged, but you're upset by him. And there's nothing he could do to do that.
I don't think so. No.
Well, that's healthy.
Yeah. We all hold on to things, Fred.
But the Celtics won the title last year.
Yeah.
And they probably wouldn't have if Kyrie had stayed around.
You're probably right about that. But in the end, this is a one-day thing. Kyrie's here. We're talking about him fine. But it's not like I'm going to obsess over this over the next week.
Between your two, no one's saying I have an unhealthy obsession with this. You're being a sports fan. But I will ask you this. Did you date anyone between your first wife and second wife?
Yes.
Did any of those women break up with you?
Yes.
Are you still mad at them?
No.
This now that you have kids and a new marriage?
No.
So you're holding Kyrie to a different standard.
Yes.
Kaboom!
I completely understand that.
I just played the chess with you.
Boy, it's remarkable to watch.
Did every
you work
woman
from
you
here.
date between your first and second marriages break up with you?
No.
You broke up with how many of them? How many years? How many women? How many acts of coitus?
Geez, I have to count back. I don't know. I'll get back to you on that.
You got to count.
Do you think
he's an abacus?
I got to.
How long between how long between the divorce and dating your now wife?
10 years.
Oh, wow, that's a good run.
You were out there.
I was out there for.
So
10
you probably
years.
can't. So you probably would have to count it up. You'd hope 10 years of running around. They got to hope he
a full decade.
Tomcatting around town.
Mm-hmm.
Good for you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, there you go.
Jimmy Butler spoke yesterday, and of course the NFL honors last night.
Of course.
And we have an MVP, so we'll get to all that.
All right. All that's on the way. Here are the headlines.
the pulse, Fred. Seldom right and never wrong.
Right here. Is that Dutcher or is that Hardy?
Kinda looks like a poodle. It's an effing poodle, dumbass.
Yeah, I got to meet him and hang out. We had him in session back in the radio BDC days. Big baseball fan.
I have his phone number.
Ooh. I never got that far. Good for you.
Yeah, you didn't.
Mic drop, Freddie T.
He's such a brilliant lyricist.
Really?
I had listened to albums for over a decade, and then I went to Rap Genius and looked at the lyrics and then the reasoning behind it, and I'm like, I didn't understand any of this stuff. It's like a linear story with characters and biblical stuff in it. And I'm like, I don't know, I get it. This guy's far too smart for me. And then I felt bad about myself. And music's supposed to make you feel good. All right. What happened? What else we got going?
Jimmy Butler, as he gets ready to join the Golden State Warriors, was
Who blew the? Hey, hang on, everyone, shush. Who blew themselves out of town? Pause. 2, 3. The Butler did it.
Jimmy Butler will be joining the Golden State Warriors and had this to say about his former team.
I don't know. Maybe just a lot of talking back and forth, and sooner or later, talking's got to stop.
Talk is cheap, baby. That sounds like a knockoff of Predator.
Yeah, that sounds like a throwaway line that Jesse Ventura came up with.
We have been talking so much, talking back and forth. Sometimes you got to stop talking.
Scarface. I watch that anytime it comes on. Yeah, that and Predator.
Scarface and Predator.
You know what?
Everyone only watches the first half of Scarface. No one watches the end. Somewhere Oliver Stone's got to be very upset.
It kind of gets depressing.
Yeah,
things don't end well for.
They like the rise.
The downturn is the problem.
Yeah. I wonder if Oliver Stone made that and he thought, this is going to be an inspiration to so many people.
I tell you what, your audio cue is for stopping the watching of Scarface. It's the use of the song "Take It to the Limit." Ooh, I'm on the rise. I bought a mansion. Take it to the limit. Ooh, I'm gonna marry Elvira and have a tiger across the moat, chained to a tree, and everybody will go down and look at it. And right after that, he's in the bathroom, and Manny is there, and he's taking a bath, and he starts yelling at Elvira, and that's when things start to go down. You hear that song, get ready to turn it off.
The Butler did it, huh?
Why?
You just got it. Hello.
I was hoping he'd play the sounder that time.
No.
Okay.
We got too many things going on with this board right now.
Sorry.
We got a
huge bit coming up.
A lot of stuff happening. Let's talk about the NFL honors last night. And we'll lead with your MVP, Josh Allen.
I'd like to thank God first and foremost for allowing me to be here today. I'd like to acknowledge the other nominees, Jared, Joe, Saquon, Lamar, all had great seasons and all could be standing here today, and you guys would be deserving of it. So you guys are true stewards of the game. I look up to you guys. I admire you guys. I just look forward to sharing the gridiron in the future with you guys, too.
Well, who could really be standing up there? Lamar. I think it was down to him and Lamar. Is anyone really considering?
Very close in the balloting, actually. And, Josh Allen just beat him out. And Saquon didn't get a first-place vote. He was a distant third.
Yes.
As he is a running back.
Yes.
So that wasn't going to happen. He had someone else he wanted to thank.
And last but not least, my fiance, Haley, who you've been my rock. You are my best friend. I would not be standing on the stage if it weren't for you. So with that being said, be good, do good, God bless, and go Bills.
When it's a fiance, he would have been there without her. I mean, he was good when he met her.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they're like one of these weird high school couples.
Haley Steinfeld.
Yeah, she's famous.
Yeah, she's an actress, right?
She's Baldwin's kid, right? Or something like that. Who's Haley Steinfeld?
First game recognition playing Maddie Ross in the 2010 Western True Grit. Oh, that's the one with Jeff Bridges. All right. She was nominated for an Academy Award. And let's see, 2017, she was the lead in The Edge of 17. She was also in Pitch Perfect 2, Pitch Perfect 3, Bumblebee, Charlie's Angels, and released her debut single, Love Myself.
So I'm guessing she was a child actress. is what it sounds like to me. Because she was born in 96, and if she was in Charlie's Angels.
Well, I'm reading her biography on people.com, Fred, so that is the definitive.
Oh, you'll like this, John.
Okay.
Steinfeld's father is Jewish and her mother is Christian.
Perfect.
Okay, so there was she's not Alec Baldwin's kid. That's someone else. But listen.
His kid's name is Haley, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's not Haley Baldwin.
No.
She's married to Justin Bieber.
Remember that guy, Body by Jake?
Yeah.
That's her uncle.
Oh, okay.
Jake Steinfeld.
So she was born with that silver spoon in her mouth.
Yes.
She's got that Body by Jake money. Body by Jake never looked like he had that great a body.
Yes.
Body by Jake never was like inspiring me to buy his products.
Great contestant for Jacked or Fat.
Yep. Yeah. Body by Jake never looked all that impressive. Like, that's not the body that I would want. If you were going to like wave a wand over me or say, here's, spend $50,000 and end up with a body, I don't want to look like Body by Jake. That wouldn't be my ideal. If you want $50,000, you know who you want to look like.
Yeah.
Pit and Fight Club, let's be honest.
That's 100. Other awards given out last night. Coach of the Year, Kevin O'Connell from the Vikings. Comeback Player of the Year, Joe Burrow of the
Second
Bengals.
time he's won that. He had a fun speech.
Joe Burrow?
Yeah, it's not anything worth playing, but he seemed to have a little personality. He said this is the kind of award you don't want to win twice.
Oh, yeah.
But he did win it twice.
Offensive Player of the Year, Saquon Barkley. And Defensive Player of the Year. What was the Defensive Player of the Year? I had it here.
It's Miles Garrett came in third. It's Patrick Surtain Jr.
Hold on. Yeah, there it is. Okay.
Wait, you have to double check me?
Just bothered me that I couldn't find it. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Jaden Daniels. That seems like a pretty obvious one there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you went by historical significance and it's a regular season award, you could give it to the tight end in Vegas. Kevin, go ahead.
Yeah, Fred, great to talk to you. Long time. I was thinking that same thing when he mentioned the fiance last night, but Jake Steinfeld, he's the driver that drives them and coming to America when they first get to America. That's like his big role, the father.
Okay. How do you know that? That's amazing.
It's such a great movie. And then when I heard that he was dating her, I'm like, wait a second, that's the cab driver. Because he never really did anything after that. That's like all he did. He was great, though.
Well, she learned the pitfalls
he did like the
of the
Body
business.
by Jake stuff.
Yeah, the Body by Jake stuff. All right, thank you, sir. We appreciate it so
Have a
much.
good one.
Thank you. Hey, all these fame. How does Josh Allen meet a Hollywood actress? He's like a mountain kid, and he's in Buffalo most of the year, and she's out there in.
Don't you know everyone goes to Buffalo to vacation?
She's out there in L.A. I'm being serious. It's got to be like your agent hooks you up or something, right?
Yeah. I'm imagining you're probably close to the truth.
I wonder if they met on Raya.
Oh, could be. You ever get accepted to that?
I got approved for Raya, and everyone lived not here.
Oh.
And I went,
beautiful people in Boston.
No, I mean it was like, do you want to like this like an anchor in like a CNN anchor in like Manhattan? And I'd be like, I don't want to do that. I'd like to have sex. That's all.
You did take the Acela back and forth. They could be romantic.
I would like to fall in love and then have them move away and then have that anticipation.
The longing, yes.
The longing.
The long distance relationship.
I want them to go. I won't take the job if you don't want me to. And I say, take it, live your dream. Don't let me stand in the way of your dream.
Yeah.
And then that makes them love me so much that I can cheat on them. That's the goal. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. We're mere moments away from having our big contest. Plus, more happened at the NFL Awards last night than what happened on stage.
Oh, you better believe it.
And we will get into that as well. We'll be right back.
scores! What a blast by Pasternak! Holiday 3. Good night!
WBZFM and HD Boston 98.5, the Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group station. Sports Hub headlines.
Celtics allowed 67 points to Dallas in the first half and 104 through the first three quarters on their way to a 127-120 loss to the Mavericks at TD Garden. This is actually a 24-point game with over 9 minutes left. Joe Mazzulla pulled the starters, and the bench ripped off a 19-3 run to make things look a lot better than they actually were. Kyrie Irving had 19 points against his former team as his current one improved to 27 and 25.
It's much needed against this team, too. Everybody touching the basketball, being ready to shoot, taking their opportunities to be aggressive on both ends of the floor, using our instincts. And when we got a lot of guys scoring over 10-plus points, it's usually a great game for us.
Jaylen Brown scored 25 points for the Celtics in the loss. They visit the Knicks tomorrow night. ESPN is reporting with a couple of open roster spots. Brad Stevens filled one of them yesterday, signing free agent wing Torrey Craig. Also, both Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown were drafted on a Shaquille O'Neal's team for the All-Star tournament next weekend. The NBA trade deadline came and went yesterday. Celtics did not make a move, but Cleveland did. They got DeAndre Hunter from Atlanta for Karis LeVert, Georges Niang, 3 second-round picks, and a pair of pick swaps. Also, among the other deals around the league, the Memphis Grizzlies sent Marcus Smart and a first-round draft pick to the Washington Wizards as part of a 3-team trade with Sacramento. Buffalo quarterback Josh Allen was voted the NFL MVP this year. The Pro Football Hall of Fame announced its class of 2025 and includes Eric Allen, Jared Allen, Antonio Gates, and Sterling Sharp. And current Hall of Famer Marshall Faulk has been hired as the new running backs coach at the University of Colorado. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by NetSuite by Oracle. Companies of all sizes have grown profitably with NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud ERP. Streamline your accounting, financial management, inventory, and HR into one fluid platform. Learn more at netsuite.com/Celtics. I'm John Wallach of Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7:30.
Listen to it, laugh at it, get mad at it, agree with it, argue about it. It is Boston Sports. Boston Sports. And it is all we do. 98.5 The Sports Hub. Hey, listen, if you've got to go, we understand, but make sure you bring the Sports Hub app with you so you can hear more of Todger and Hardy.
That's what I want on my tombstone.
On the sport.
Big, long legs. Very feminine legs.
Didn't you call them like potato sticks or something like that?
Yeah,
There's a potato with sticks for legs.
But if I'm being self-deprecating, but in reality, these are long dancer legs, like a rocket.
Gams.
Yeah. Huh. Like if I shaved them, you could make a lamp out of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like if I shaved them, I could maybe sell them on the internet. That's my go-to if something goes sideways. I just start shaving my legs and selling leg picks. Maybe my feet are kind of weird, so I'd have to have a very specific group of fetishes. But that's what I'll do. By the way, speaking of fetishes, there was a certain somebody wearing a lot of rings at the NFL Honor Awards.
Bill Belichick and Jordan Hudson on the red carpet walking in together, a ringed hand in ringed hand. The Super Bowl rings that they were both sporting. Bill showing up very dapper in his NFL red 100
What
logo
jacket is that? What jacket is that?
I think it's the 100-year anniversary jacket.
I think that's right.
Something.
I'm not 100% sure, though.
Everyone before the show was saying this and that about Jordan. Jordan looks hot. She does look hot. She's got a nice little body on her. She's all made up. She looks hot. Bill couldn't look worse. Bill looks very, very old, and he's wearing all his rings like a douchebag, and she's wearing one of his rings. So he said, "Yeah, no, take one of my rings," because they mean so much to him that you just let everyone put them on.
She'll wear a couple. You wear one of my rings. Sure, you're not just here with me.
Like if you had a Super Bowl ring and your wife, even or you had let's just say girlfriend, so you have a Super Bowl ring and you're like, first of all, when are you taking it out? But if your girlfriend was like, "Hey, I'm going out tonight. I want to wear your Super Bowl ring," I feel like you're out of your mind. No, you can't wear my Super Bowl ring.
I'm not letting that thing out of my sight.
No, I'm just like, no, but it's like corny. Like, I'm not going to let you wear my Super Bowl ring around. Like, they're not meant to be worn. Yeah. They're like, they're ridiculous.
Yeah, you weren't born when I won that one. You don't get that one.
Yeah,
but you bust them out a couple times a year, and this is one of the times you do.
You wear all of them?
If you got them all.
You wear them all of them for an ad shoot. I don't know if you go out with all of them. The only guy I know who wore his ring around was who? Aaron Ward.
Yes.
Aaron
Tap
Ward
it on the bar.
Aaron Ward used to wear his Carolina championship ring wherever he went. That he enjoyed that.
Troop wore his World Series ring.
Oh, his World Series ring? Is that's not the one the players get even though?
No, it's not a player ring. It's a employee ring. It was nice though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not boy. You had to hate that. Yeah, you did. You hated it.
I didn't hate it.
Sure you did. Sure you did.
No.
Yes, you did. You remembered it.
Maybe you just
We're
hated
talking
the time
about
spent.
people who wore their rings on a regular basis.
Aaron Ward used to make fun of himself for wearing it. He'd wear it to the airport. He'd have to take it off and put it through security. He'd tap it on a bar like when he couldn't get the attention of the bartender.
I've seen that aircraft carrier. Back in the first year of the show, Aaron Ward came in wearing that ring.
I hung out with Aaron all the time.
Yeah.
Aaron wasn't kidding. He wore that out. Like during the day, no, but like out. He wore that. Yeah. He wore that ring.
What do things sound like when you tapped it on the bar? It'd be like a Yeti, like.
Well, that's how you get attention.
Yeah,
bring the drinks over here.
It probably weighs like a pound, and then he just dumps it on the thing.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, if you want to see Jordan looking very, very good looking,
yes,
the best she's maybe ever looked, and then you have
sparkling silver cutout dress featuring a sequin bra top and skirt with a high slit and long train. Belichick in his red blazer over a white collared shirt, blue tie, and they say black dress. They look like the stereotypical gray creased slacks that old men favor.
She had a long train on her dress, just like Bill will say, Jordan, I know you're blindfolding me. How long is this train? Tell me when you get to the caboose.
So they had people on stage, presenting and emceeing. Snoop Dogg was up there and had a few things to say.
I've been a football fan for a long, long time. I mean, I remember back when the Cowboys was good. I remember back when the Chiefs was bad. And I remember, what was it? Bill Belichick's girlfriend wasn't even born yet.
Yeah, everyone, they don't
Not sure what that joke was supposed to be. I think.
Yeah, he kind of lost the punchline. But the great thing about that is any other relationship, because all these athletes got younger girlfriends, like all these ex-athletes, that's never brought up. But Bill's is so weird that it gets brought up every time.
Here, you want to punch up that joke? Hold on a second.
You had it.
I did have it for a second.
Yeah, I saw it. I can see it from here.
Get Valanche in here to punch it up.
And I remember when Bill Belichick's girlfriend was born. That's not, it's pretty easy to remember. It wasn't that long ago. Something like that. Well, he said, I remember when Bill Belichick's girlfriend wasn't even born yet.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a joke. That kind of goes the other way.
He was saying that he remembered football from before she was born, because that was the train of the joke. He was saying moments he remembered that were old, and then he was saying he remembers football moments before Bill Belichick's girlfriend was even born.
Okay.
That's what he was saying.
No.
Okay.
Whatever it was. The point was made, and Bill's reaction to it actually was fine.
Yeah, he's probably happy. He loves it.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's paying attention to him, and he's got a hot young lady with him. He loves it.
Not going to bring him any closer to a pro job, though. I don't think all this attention is helping him.
So say that she lives with advances in medicine. Say she lives like 70 more years, right? And Bill lives 10. So so she's got 70 years and he's got 10. This means that Bill dies in his early 80s, that she dies in her early 90s. Women live longer than men. Bill looks like he's in horrendous shape. So for there's a long period of time there, 70 years, where she's going to be the thing with the computers and the internet and everything is she's going to be the girl that was dating Bill Belichick in that weird relationship. And that's going to be it forever. And then even if you have money, you know there's no one that gossips more than the money. And when you go to a party, they're all going to be going like, oh, who's that? Oh, yeah, she's the girl at 24 who got Bill's money.
Even if you want to like take her expectancy down a bit and increase Bill's, and increase Bill's life expectancy, safe to say she's going to have to live at least 40 years of her life as the girl who dated Bill Belichick as a 24-year-old, and he was 72.
So you have him living to 100.
No, I'm saying if she only lives another 60 years and he lives 20 more.
You're saying he's
well, so he would live to his 90s and she would die in her 80s. This is an unnecessary exercise.
But that's still 40 years she's going to have to exist as a punchline.
Yeah. Or just like that person. Like even if it's not a joke, it's just like that's what you're going to be known for.
Yeah.
Like because you were publicly out and about with this like old out of shape guy while you were young and hot. And like even if you get money, like the thing with everyone's going to be talking about at all times is how you got the money. Well, she got the money because when she was in college, she met Bill Belichick on a plane, and then he was all old and like it didn't feel good about himself, and so like he got swept up into this relationship, and then look at where we are now. I mean, because she is out and about getting dresses made and all this stuff. So this is. Chances are she's not going to become famous doing something else. You know, so let's be honest. She's not like model hot, and she's not an actress to my knowledge or like a comedian or anything.
I couldn't decipher what was going on, but it was a couple weeks ago. There was a photo of her at some like conference table with world leaders, and it was some type of diplomatic event where she was meeting with foreign dignitaries. Like, Jesus, Jones. Like,
well, they probably have nothing to say.
What exactly?
I wonder how many eye-to-eye contact was done at that
is
table.
going on here?
Exactly.
Why is she there?
Well, she's there because Bill Belichick gets invited things and he's plus one. It's like, well, forget it. You know what it's like. It's like what Crash did to the 99X party. All right, very good. Listen, we have so much coming up. UMass really screwed a guy over.
Yes.
And then we get into our extravagant, large, speaking of Bill Belichick, we get into our May-December. For Steven Singer, we get into our big May-December contest where we'll have 5 couples, we hope, 5 couples in studio. We have 3 rounds. We'll find out all we need to know. And then someone will get the grand prize. Everyone gets one of these wonderful gold dip roses from IHateStevenSinger.com. But we look forward to that. Cedric Maxwell will join the show. So much is on the way. Hold on to your horses and hold on to your ladies and give them your Super Bowl rings. We'll be back in just a moment. Hey, we're Toucher and Hardy. Steven Singer is here as we look for these couples to start arriving for our big contest today. We wait with great anticipation for when they get here.
Nicholas is our point person to meet and greet the couples as they arrive.
Nicholas handles everything. Don't worry about it. So if you come here and you don't think anyone's coming to the door, just know that Nicholas is coming.
What a wonderful
It takes him a very long time to get there.
Yeah, what a great first impression for people to, their first interaction with the show is going to be Nick Gemelli.
Well, he's the face on it. All right, so you all are big fans of UMass women's basketball, obviously.
Of course.
There was a fan who, first of all, was lucky enough to get into a UMass women's basketball game. He up there in Amherst. He has he's out of the tens of people that are there. He gets somehow picked out from the crowd, and they say to him, "You have 30 seconds to make a layup, a free throw, a 3-pointer on your first 3 shots, and then you got to make a half-court shot. The prize is $10,000."
Right. Now, first of all, shenanigans, because as reported by Sports Illustrated, this was shared by the UMass play-by-play announcer, Josh Schreiber, and he said a friend of his named Noah made a layup, a free throw, and a 3-pointer. So wait a second. This is the announcer's friend?
Well, you're picking between 6 people.
That's the thing.
So, I mean, there's not a whole lot of...
It's friends and family at this point.
What are the odds that everybody in the crowd knew each other?
100%.
50%. In all honesty, if you want a real answer,
Yes.
50%.
Yeah.
That is what the chances are.
Okay.
So this guy in front of no one, there's no reactions. The person holding the camera knows the guy, and that's the only reaction. You've never heard any less crowd noise for any kind of feat in your entire life.
Let's hear the feat as it happened.
3-pointer and a half-court shot before time expires. Noah, are you ready? On your mark, get set, go!
Makes the layup.
As you can tell by the crowd noise, a lot's happening.
Halfway there.
Free throw. Makes the 3-pointer. Now the half-court shot.
Yeah, that's not your kid's elementary school game. That is a college basketball.
Dozens of people going nuts. Notice when the PA announcer, all the sound is reverberating off all the emptiness.
Right. So, big deal. It's UMass. They get, it's paid for by the state. They get tuition. Who cares? It's $10,000. It's insured anyway.
Yes.
Well, so this guy goes, I won $10,000. This is great. This was great for UMass because the whole reason you do it is promotion, and now people know that you have a women's basketball team.
Yep.
And maybe they could win $10,000, but no.
Josh Schreiber, once again, the announcer, was the person breaking the story. They say his foot was on the line despite not being told beforehand that it had to be behind the line. He wrote in a quote post, "Odds On Promotions is the company." So UMass said, well, the insurance company and Odds On company, they have denied it, so we're going to give you something else.
Here's the deal. So you're UMass, right? You have a little bit of internal knowledge of yourself, like be able to be self-reflective. You realize what you are, right? You're not good at anything. So it's hard to get in there, especially for a resident. It's a good school. Athletically, though, terrible. So nothing you have is of any value to anybody. Just give the $10,000 to the person. But this is what they offered up. Have you read this, Jonathan?
I have.
This is a nice package that they.
This is for UMass.
Okay, he can't get the $10,000, but they put together a wonderful prize package.
Yeah. All right. So here it is. Tickets for a 4-person loge suite at a select men's basketball game of your choice this season.
Well, they gave him 4 dates.
And then they gave him 4 dates.
Okay.
How much did you just walk into one?
I just don't wait the starting time for you. So what time can you get here?
What's the value on that? Seriously, what's the value on that? $30?
$5.
You couldn't pay me to drive to Amherst and go to a UMass basketball game. This is not Canby era. In addition, we would like it, and this is a real kick in the balls. In addition, we would like to have you participate in the on-court hot shot shooting contest at the game you select. The prize includes various gifts for making a layup, a free throw, a three-pointer, along with a half-court shot that is worth $1,000 if you make it. Similarly to the promo you participated in, there will be a time limitation, 1 attempt at the half-court shot if you make the other shots, etc. So not only do you get 1/10 of what you'd win, you have to do all this over again and without missing. So you have to make a layup, a free throw, a three-pointer, and a half-court shot again without missing.
For a tenth of the prize money.
Who's in charge of
for
this?
$1,000. Would you even show up?
No.
I wouldn't even show up. Drive to Amherst and have to go through this whole exercise again for $1,000? Nonsense.
By the way, Ryan checked the get-in price for one of those games mentioned is $6.
Yeah. $6.
I mean, BC's the ACC, and you can get during winter break. They have free tickets.
I was there.
The tickets are free.
I was there last weekend.
John and I both had bet at a free game before.
I was there to watch them beat Florida State.
It's snowing. You got nothing to do with your kids. You're going to a BC game, my friend.
Damn right. Good seats still available.
But then you think that might not be fair. But then they really roll out the red carpet. I want you to check the price on these, Ryan. A pair of courtside seats at a select women's basketball game of your choice this season.
Well, 3 dates.
3 dates, because it can't be, when they take on Kansas or Louisville. So, what do you think courtside seats? I would guess by getting into the building, you're courtside.
Ryan says courtside, $20.
Oh, that's more than I thought it was going to be.
But that's face value. I mean, do you think they have a security guard keeping from people going to the courtside?
Meaning you can buy that sweet little $6 ticket and mosey on down? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying if you got the balls to take on the UMass security, I'm like, you could walk down there and take your chances.
I've gone to StubHub to make sure I have this correct.
and you put it in StubHub and they go, why?
I know.
You just put it in and go, what do you think? Why do you need us for this, stupid?
The Davidson Wildcats are going to visit the U.S. women's basketball team tomorrow afternoon. Section G, which is courtside, I could get 2 tickets together, $5 each on StubHub.
StubHub is telling you, look, the fees are more than the
fees are
tickets.
$1,000. Just please
don't do this.
Save yourself the aggravation.
I'm being reeled in. I understand.
Can you imagine if you look? I'm just sitting on these courtside seats to these UMass women's basketball game. I can't take this all on. There's got to be something I can do with these things. I'll take them to the secondary market.
They were throwing in more though into the prize pack. Right?
So far we have legitimately secondary market $20 and then the $10 for the games. So $30 out of the $10,000. Then $100 in gift cards to whatever the Mullins Center is. Concessions to be used at the basketball games you attend. So you can use the $100 gift card at the games that you attend. Those 2 games.
They'll be time-stamped, and you're only allowed to use them at those games.
That's right, the Mullins Center. The Mullins Center is where the basketball teams play. So
you can drive out to Amherst, and fear not, there will be $100 worth of UMass memorabilia, which you can resell for no money. But you don't need the memorabilia because UMass also, instead of your $10,000, is offering up a swag bag of UMass gear.
Okay.
Actual items are determined depending on your sizes and available inventory. So don't ask for any of the hard to get stuff. We're out.
But they did ask for shirt and shoe sizes, so you might get some kicks out of it. The kicks would be worth it.
And then they're going to give it to you in a gift basket.
Right. It's nice.
So they're just not going to throw it at you. So you got $100 in crap, and then they're going to make a nice gift basket for you instead of just giving the guy $10,000.
Plus, you have to take those shots again. If you
want to participate in the contest.
Oh, that's optional.
If you won $1,000 after taxes, you're $500 that you get.
Okay.
And by the way, we're reporting all this value to the IRS. You're going to have to pay taxes on your courtside seats to the women's game, plus your $100 gift card. So deal with that. We're giving you tax documents for.
We
all
don't
this
want
stuff.
the publicity. We want to look like a-holes. That's what this is.
I just don't understand that if you're the university, you just don't go fine. It's never going to happen again. Fine. The guy was good enough to go to a game. We get some good publicity. Here's what you do. Okay, so even if I was a UMass donor, right? Like if I was some donor that supported any of the athletic programs, here, the story's easy. This crap promotional company, this horrible promotional company, they're cheating this guy out of $10,000. We all know that it's not right. So, and then publicly, I, on behalf of UMass University, am going to give this poor soul the $10,000 myself. You have them. Then you go to Amherst for $10,000, and then you stand in front of the stadium or put him on at half court and give him the money, and then that goes viral. Mm-hmm. That's $10,000 worth of advertising easily.
Oh, easy.
But instead, you're this joke sports situation. How hard is it to give the guy $10,000? With all my tax money going to you.
It should be pretty easy. And you know that these promotions companies and the insurance companies, they're the ones who insure all the hole-in-one contests that they have at the golf tournaments all summer long.
Sure. Like if you go to
they never have to pay out on it.
You go to the 985, the Sports Up golf contest, you get a hole-in-one, you get a sleeve of balls. Don't worry about it. They had the worst prizes for the hole-in-one. Well, there's a 1 in $100,000 chance you'll do this. We're offering up $500 worth of crap.
Seriously, some of the I've seen it before, not just at ours, but at other ones where it's like, hey, it's the hole-in-one hole, guys, $500 or a 1-year lease on a Jeep Commander.
1 year lease. They'll park right next to the T-box.
Adam, we have time to kill. Go off on the insurance companies, Adam. Talk about how much the insurance company kills the little man.
I mean, you saw the comments underneath the post. People were like,
I didn't see the comments underneath the post. I don't
send
read those
Luigi
things.
after you.
All right.
What is this Luigi stuff? What are you talking about? You mentioned that in the meeting this morning.
Oh, by the way, what Ryan made a nice quip when you were talking about the 10,000. So that's half of UMass's NIL budget. So they got to be careful.
Very good. Right. Well, listen, that douchebag that said Duval went there. He played quarterback there. Dan, go ahead.
Yeah. Hey guys. Hey. Yeah. So UMass basketball is now literally the Flint Tropics. Have you guys ever seen Semi-Pro?
Yeah, the Will Ferrell thing, yeah.
I have.
Yeah, so they have a guy, a dirty hippie named Dukes, who sinks a $10,000 shot. He's like, oh, my God. And they don't give him $10,000 because he's like, who the hell has $10,000? He's like, relax, the beer company will pay for it. And he's like, they're not actually a sponsor. We just made that up to look cool. And then they're like, he just won a giant check that says $10,000.
That's
like, this is literally...
It's just such a JV operation. Yeah, they wrote a movie about how bad a team was and how stupid the organization was, and this is the real life version of it. It came out of the mind of a comedy writer. Yeah, I mean,
Dr.
Jesus
J,
Christ,
baby, woo!
Listen,
all right,
why doesn't Canby give them the money? All the money that they paid him to go to UMass.
That
why
would
don't
seem
they?
to be fair. Yeah,
that's what they're doing. All right. Well, listen. It's a travesty. What does Bertrand have to say about all these things?
I'm sure he'll back UMass to the hilt. He knows one gear when it comes to this. He'll have excuses on top of excuses for this.
And if you want to, you can count the people in the crowd. I can count the people in the second section, the upper deck section for you right now, 0. So that's what they're dealing with.
Was this a halftime promotion?
Yes.
Oh, God.
And he had to get his own rebound. And by the way...
Well, that's the excuse. Everyone was out getting concessions.
You could take the gate for every UMass women's basketball game for a decade and not get $10,000. So that I understand. This is a financial hurdle they can't climb. All right, look. It's enough of us talking. It is time. We have Steven Singer here, the great Steven Singer from IHateStevenSinger.com, where you will go to get your jewelry for your loved ones for Valentine's Day. In honor of Bill Belichick, who yesterday showed out at the NFL awards.
Honors.
It's awards.
Okay.
That didn't need to be corrected. That he shows up, and he shows up with his 24-year-old girlfriend, even though he is in his 70s and looks every bit his age. He's a fat 70-year-old. And he is with this 24-year-old who is very good looking. She looked good last night. But yet... she's cursed with this responsibility to lay beneath Bill Belichick. So when we come back, in honor of that, we have tried to assemble couples with great age differences. And we, the three of us, Steven Singer can as well if you'd like, are going to judge them as couples.
Right.
On what criteria, don't worry.
And maybe shed a different, more positive light.
Oh yeah,
on these May, December
I'm not bringing these
romances.
people up to bust on them.
Exactly.
I'm bringing these people up to
Because
celebrate.
if they're
them.
if they're in the parking garage right now, we don't want to scare them.
Oh, well, I'm not going to. What do I care? Look, I wish I was. I mean, I date women younger than me.
It's a celebration on how to do this correctly, is what this is.
I lost 40 pounds to date women younger than me. So believe me, everyone wants to date women younger than them. I don't know if I'm putting them on I'm going to corn mazes and taking pictures of myself and putting it on Instagram. I can assure you I'm not doing that. If they asked me to dress up as a salty sailor while they were a mermaid that I just caught, I'd go F yourself. No. I can tell you that with all certainty.
I'm upset she hasn't taken any of our suggestions. We had plenty of them.
You know she knows. You know she has friends that listen to this show.
That's
you
probably
absolutely.
true. Yeah.
There's 100%. There's not a
Yeah.
chance. And I'm on her side. She looked really hot last night.
We had some
I'm
good
on her
suggestions.
side.
Good suggestions, too.
Yeah, you give him a big lollipop and dress him
Yeah.
up as like a little schoolboy.
I think dressing him up as the copper tone baby.
Yeah,
and
I like
having
that one.
her
That was pretty good.
pulling the.
You dress her like a
trunks
dog,
off.
and she's like a dog, and
Yeah,
she
yeah.
pulls his underwear.
Pulling his trunks off.
He's
yeah.
been a bad boy.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? All right. Well, listen. I can see people coming in. I can see. You know how? Why? Because I see a woman.
I see,
There's
well,
a
not
woman
only-
here.
I see.
It's unbelievable.
I absolutely see one of the couples right now. He's like, "Yep, that tracks."
I'm like,
there we go.
all of a sudden, my heart skipped a beat. I'm like, there's a woman here. My God, something really is happening. All right, very good. So we will get all this started. Hopefully, we can get this all together during the break. Here are the headlines.
Sports Hub headlines.
Celtics lost to Dallas last night, 127-120, in a game that really wasn't that close. Klay Thompson, 25 points for the Mavericks. Celtics have tonight off. They visit the Knicks tomorrow evening. ESPN is reporting that Brad Stevens yesterday signed free agent wing Torrey Craig to fill one of his 2 open roster spots. Both Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown were drafted on Shaquille O'Neal's team for All-Star Weekend. At the NBA trade deadline, the Cleveland Cavaliers made the big deal. They got DeAndre Hunter from Atlanta for Karis LeVert, Georgia's Niang, 3 second-round picks, and a pair of pick swaps. Buffalo quarterback Josh Allen was voted the NFL MVP, and the Pro Football Hall of Fame announced its class of 2025 last night. It's Eric Allen, Jared Allen, Antonio Gates, and Sterling Sharp. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Dr. Matthew Lopresti and Leonard Hair Transplant Associates, the hair doctor of Hardy, Charlie McAvoy, and Tuukka Rask. Call 1-800-GET-HAIR for your free consultation. I'm John Wallach of Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 8 o'clock.
Okay, so I heard you on Howard Stern recently. Like he did a super
Yeah, we were
fan
in a
contest.
couple weeks ago. Yeah.
Okay, so what is it? Are you're in New York? You're in the studio.
We're in New York in the studio. We're the longest running continuous advertiser on Stern since 1986.
Yeah, and I used to hear you.
Came to Philadelphia.
Yeah, and you would, because I used to get tapes of Stern, and Steven Singer would be on those tapes. I didn't get them live. What's the situation like now in the Stern studios? Like, how many people? Is there like a lot of people?
They have like 50 people now that work on it. They have a whole wing. They have like Will Murray's the head writer. They have a dozen people who do voiceovers in the next room. That do like Hillary Clinton or that type of thing, or Jackie the Joke Man. They sometimes they use real cuts of him. Sometimes they're impersonators. But Howard's got such an unbelievable setup there. I mean, he's got a whole wing in Sirius that nobody goes to. He's got 4 or 5 of his own green rooms.
Was
He's
he
got a
there?
sound stage, yeah.
Okay, so he showed up for you.
He doesn't show up often, but he shows up for like Bruce Springsteen
And Steven
Paul
Singer.
McCartney.
And Steven Singer.
But we've had a long relationship. And we took pictures, did all the fun stuff, and I haven't seen him been into the studio since before the pandemic.
Yeah,
because everything was shut down. Everybody's working remotely. I have a studio set up in my office, with cameras and this type of microphone and stuff like that. And not as nice as this, but that type of thing. And so this is the first time everybody's seen everybody in person. And Howard broadcasts half of the time from Florida and half of the time from the Hamptons.
Right.
And then he's in the city once in a blue moon.
And you supported Opie and Anthony. You supported Opie and Anthony through all of the controversy, which they were very, I know Opie and Jim.
Yeah.
I know Anthony and Jim quite well.
Yeah.
And they.
I was on the remnants of that show the other day, the Sam Roberts show.
Oh boy.
And Jim Norton has his own show, and now Opie's gone, and the Compound Media, which was Anthony's, just closed.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
I know Jim stopped doing the Sirius
got his
show.
his
but
podcast,
he's got the Bad Advice podcast. Jim's
Aptly
a great
named,
guy.
yes.
Yeah, Jim's a great guy.
Yeah.
All right, so you've been all around the country. You say you went to the Celtics game last night.
Yeah, I did. But there's one thing that worries me.
Yeah.
So I only go places that I think are really going to be great, that are like the number one station in the market. I said I don't want to go to number twos, number threes. I'm too old. I've been doing this crap too long. You know what I mean? I'm running out of rope. I just want to do that. So he said, we got these guys in Boston. It's the number one sports station. They're terrific. It's unbelievable. I said, great. And they said, you can't get in the studio. Don't let anybody in the studio. I said, all right. I said, let me ask you this. How long is their contract? I won't say it out loud. I don't go like that. I said, well, if they're so great, why don't they have a longer contract? I said, I want to sign up for the amount of time they're here. I said, so you're asking me to spend all this money and go on with these guys, and Boston's already great for us. It's already a good town for us. We do very well here. I said, why don't they have a better contract like that?
Oh,
so
my
I
contract.
think I'm negotiating you a better contract as we speak.
I appreciate it, but listen, they can't afford to lose us. I am locked in. You got me for 3 more years, no cut.
That's what they said. I'm saying 3. That's it.
I'm not signing. I didn't want to sign any. I signed a 4-year deal. I didn't want to even sign a 5-year deal.
Why?
I didn't know.
Too much
it was
personal stuff.
Yeah, too much personal stuff.
You have no
Too
idea.
Many 24-year-olds that you're dating? Or,
no, I
we
haven't done that yet.
We could do a whole segment on that. No,
Yeah.
but we
I'm a
won't.
mess.
Yeah.
But it's great that you came in. It's cool, like Fred said, to actually sit here and talk to you, because I think of you as one of these radio luminaries. Been listening to you,
thank you.
for so long and coming on and doing this stuff, and now you get a chance to do this with us today. Which
This is
any
so much- this is
any
fun.
hesitation to the setup to this contest, Stephen?
No, I know it's going to be terrible. It's going, I know as soon as I heard it, it's going to be bad. But we're going to make it good. We're going to ramp it up, and we're going to make it good. But the radio business, I've been doing this probably 44 years, so probably as long, if not longer, than you guys
Yeah.
are. Some of you are old, and there's.
Who do you think's older, me or Fred?
I'm really bad with this.
No, go ahead.
I would say you're 3 years apart. And he's 3 years older, but I don't know.
No,
That's pretty good.
You got it right. 3 years difference, but I'm 3 years old.
All right, I can't tell you. You got a hat on, so it's you're.
Yeah, let him. He won't take that hat off for
All right.
anybody.
All right, very nice. All right,
He dyes
now-
his hair.
Yeah, that's it. Listen,
Yeah.
What?
just for men, it's good.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
the thing that I was going
Me
to
and
say
Steven are au
is-
naturel. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
that's exactly. That's why I look like this. But
You
the
look
other thing
fantastic.
the thing I was going to say is I learned early on that radio DJs, the radio business, circus clowns, and jewelers are the bottom rung of show business and business. It's a business of idiots. And if you just show up, you're going to do better than 90% of the people. And that's really the only thing I do is I just show up, give people a fair product at a fair price, and take care of them. You guys are entertaining. You're fun every day. You don't just phone it in. You know, it's
I'd like
good.
to say the worst part about working in radio is you have to work with a bunch of radio people.
Yeah.
Is the same hold true for the
they're
jewelry
so
business?
Dumb. They're so dumb. It's just unbelievably dumb. I mean, the things they do. I do a lot of public speaking, and the things I tell them, it's just like, how do you give an unbelievable? We give a lifetime money back guarantee, like it's called a love guarantee.
Yeah.
So if the ring is problem, the diamond's a problem, and if the relationship breaks up, we'll guarantee even the relationship, and we'll take it back. So people say, you're nuts. How can you do that? They're so dumb. They have no idea how to market or how to do anything. I said, if you have a no refund policy, you know what people bring back every year? It's 2%.
Yeah.
No matter what, you get a Karen, get somebody who walks in, you engraved Irving inside my ring, and his name is Kyrie, whatever it is, that type of thing, right? So you have it, and so you're going to give that back. If you have 100% unbelievable money back guarantee, you know how much stuff you take back at the end of the year? 2%.
Right. And
so
you get
why would you just do it? Like the $10,000 thing. Why wouldn't you give that person the $10,000? You got to be dumb as a box of rocks.
It makes
but
no
that's
sense.
Radio, and jewelers are right there with the circus clowns, and the circus are out of business. So
yeah, believe me, I've never been treated well my whole career, despite my success. All right, well, look, here's what we wanted to do. Since you are the place to go for Valentine's Day, and for guys, they don't know what they're doing. They just go to IHateStevenSinger.com. You know, Bill Belichick has got this 24-year-old girlfriend.
God bless him. Yeah, that's 4 years older than the age I date, but it's all right.
All right, yeah, but you look, you're thin and you look young. Bill Belichick,
It's an illusion.
Yeah, fat and old. All right, so here we go. So we have got, how many couples showed up, Adam?
All 5 couples.
This is a minor miracle, Mr. Steven Singer.
There we go.
Just in the conference room, we're packed to the gills.
Do you know how much better looking you get when you have a diamond bracelet given your hand? You know, you go
Absolutely.
up like 2 3 levels.
Absolutely. You can buy love. Don't let anyone tell you
Exactly.
different. Well, Adam, if you could, let's just bring everyone in and then everyone out.
Nicholas is bringing
So we can
everybody
get-
in right now.
Oh, we're going to get everybody in studio at once.
And then all of them out, and then we have a plan.
This, by the way, since you put me on the mic, I want to mention this is something you will want to get on the YouTube page to enjoy. This.
Oh, yeah, you can watch.
Now's the time to log in.
Yeah, search 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. The
Now's the
physical
time to
differences
check it all out.
with these
Come on in,
people
guys.
are quite amazing. You can stay, Steven, because we're going to just have them come in. And just stand here. I'm going to turn on all the mics. I just want to get a look at you, well, to at the beginning of this thing, to see what we're looking with here. This is my ocular check of everyone. The age differences. Oh, I like you two right now, right away. Those are hoop earrings. You're not kidding.
It's a really good-looking group.
Yeah. The females are better looking than the males.
Well,
there's no question about it.
Almost always the case, though.
Yeah. Where's your girl?
I don't wait.
You can't.
What the hell's going on with your
We
girl?
need a couple.
Oh, this is the problem with dating someone younger. They're very irresponsible. All right, so here we go. We have 5 couples.
There they are.
Holy moly. Some don't look like there's that much of an age difference, but some it's dramatic. But that will not be the be-all, end-all. Fear not. Age difference will not be what we are grading you on. There will be 3 things, and you will find them. They're not bad. Like how you met and then why you like older people. And then there's a trivia thing we're doing. But one of you, the great Steven Singer, all of you get the gold-dipped rose just for coming in. So that's very nice of Steven Singer. Steven Singer might do a little something else. Don't let me talk for him. So you're all leaving happy, believe me. But the grand prize, Steven Singer is giving away his wrapped in love necklaces, the gold-dipped rose, the bracelet. It's got a diamond bracelet. Everyone's going to love it. So you guys excited? Yeah. There's nothing to fear. Believe me, you're all better than me. So right there, you're winning. So just come in here like you're talking to a lesser, and then you'll feel perfectly fine.
Is anybody on the verge of marriage here? Really?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
All right.
that makes sense.
I'm ordained
You
in
keep-
32 states, so I can marry you right here today if you want.
Oh,
we could do a thing
Wouldn't
with the
that be a
rings, everything like
wonderful,
that.
wonderful
Wouldn't that be
culmination?
wouldn't that
it'd be
something?
beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be great.
Is this one of the states you're ordained in?
No. But
Okay.
I'll call the internet and get the $5 license while we're here.
And for the
Fine.
female, you
Yeah.
want the jeweler doing it, believe me.
Yes.
Because if he does it, I have a feeling he's going to feel like he owes you something.
Yes, we'll get hooked up.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So, all right. Now leave. And I'm going to have you come back in.
All right.
Where's Nicholas, this idiot? All right. Play the trombone. He's walking. Nicholas.
That's a good-looking group there.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's way better than I thought it would be.
Might I add, it is spectacular. All 5 couples showed up.
It's unheard of, Steven.
Really?
Do you know how jewelry is? It's like crack. It's the best thing. You know, when I was dating my wife. You know, my mother-in-law said. She says, "Oh, what's he do?" He says, "It's jewelry." She goes, "This is great. What am I go out with a doctor? She's gonna amputate my leg. The jeweler's great. I
Yeah.
got jewelry. You know what I mean? It makes you look better."
All right. Well, look, it speaks well of you that 5 couples actually showed up.
Yeah.
Who knew?
You got a good-looking audience here.
Absolutely.
Nice-looking listeners.
There
I'm
is
impressed.
there is one couple where there is quite a bit of difference. I'll tell you that.
Just based on my notes here, I'm pretty sure I know who that
So
is.
they're going to be one of the first 2 couples. I'll tell you that.
Absolutely,
right now.
yeah.
He's got the
send
biggest
them
life
in
insurance
first.
policy.
All right. We'll be back. We'll meet the couples in our big contest, our big May December contest in just a moment.
You're listening to Toucher and Hood.
ready to make his Dallas Mavericks debut last night at TD Garden against the Celtics, but unfortunately for the guys wearing green, it didn't matter.
Edwards drives baseline. Cornette stays with him. Shovel pass. Klay Thompson falls away from the baseline and hits again.
Off the wrong leg.
A vintage night from Klay Thompson. Turning back the clock. He's got 23 on 13 shots in 12 minutes.
That is Sean Grandy and Cedric Maxwell here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Klay Thompson scored 25 points. Dallas beat the Celtics 127-120. Jaylen Brown scored 25 for the Green, but the starters were pulled with just over 9 minutes left. The Celtics visit the Knicks tomorrow night. They also didn't make another trade before yesterday's deadline, but they did make a move. They signed free agent wing Torrey Craig. Also, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown were both drafted on a Shaquille O'Neal's team for All-Star Weekend. Around the NBA, Cleveland got better. They got DeAndre Hunter from Atlanta for Karis LeVert, Georgia's Niang, 3 second-round picks and a pair of pick swaps, and Marcus Smart traded from Memphis to the Washington Wizards. In a small surprise, Josh Allen was voted the NFL MVP last night, and Eric Allen, Jared Allen, Antonio Gates, and Sterling Sharp were elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Adam Vinatieri and Eli Manning did not get in during their first year of eligibility. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by 128 Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric, the company that finishes every job strong. If your home or business has a plumbing, HVAC, electrical, or drain issue that can't wait, you have to call 128 now at 888-CALL-128. I'm John Wallach of Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 8:30.
Some people play the game.
Jaylen Brown. Blocked by Horford.
Some talk about
Let's welcome to the Sports Hub Celtics show, by the way. Jim Murray, Chris Gasper.
The Sports Hub Celtics show with Murray and Gasper, Saturdays at noon on the Sports Hub. You said you wanted to hear more music in the morning.
Never had to knock on wood, but I never had it yet.
Oh, you said you didn't want to hear more music in the morning. Okay. Here's more Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
But Daddy, I love him.
I know that's probably hard to understand, but
Conversation was actually had. All right. Listen, people are sick of me making fun of it by now, but I don't care. The fact that Bill Belichick is traipsing around with a 24-year-old girl and taking her to award shows and letting him wear his rings is fantastic.
It's insane behavior.
But I don't want to discourage it, and I don't want people to think that you shouldn't be in a May-December relationship. Who am I to judge? In fact, I am open to it either way. I'll be with a grandma. I don't care. But since we are Toucher and Hardy, and our coverage of Super Bowl 59, which we're very in-depth in right now, is presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more with FanDuel. You want to watch this on YouTube. If you're ever going to watch something on YouTube, this is it. Search 98.5 The Sports Hub, subscribe, and you won't miss anything that is coming up. Because you'll want to see visually, it will work audio-wise, but you want to do it, look at it visually if you can. And that will be up for in perpetuity on YouTube.com. All right, let's not wait any longer. Let's bring in two couples. Our first couple is Adam. There you go. Our first couple is Mike. He was born in 1985. And Brooke, who was born in 1999.
Okay.
That is a 14-year age gap. Very reasonable. But then you have Steve, who was born in 1962. And Audra, who was born in 1999. That is a 37-year-old age difference. That is a lot. All right. Nick, if you can grab another chair, and so we can give the gentleman a chair.
Yeah.
And then we will get this going. So first of all, Mike and Brooke, hello. Get them, and then help them with the mics.
Yeah, we're going to get the mics right in front, just right in front of your mouth there. There you go.
Yeah, all right, there you go. All right, Mike, hello. All right, why is his mic not working? All right, Mike, go ahead, talk. All right, that mic doesn't work.
That's great.
All right, so move over to this mic. All right, here we go. Mike, hello.
Fred, how's it going?
All right, it's nice to meet you.
You too.
All right, so you are 40 years old.
I'll be 40 in April.
Okay, you'll be 40 in April.
Yes.
And your girl, how long have you and Brooke been together?
A little over a year. Yeah.
Oh, a little over a year. Now, Brooke, how did you and Mike meet?
At work.
Really? At work? Now, what do you guys do? What kind of profession? Plumbers?
Social work.
Social work. Oh, so you're both, you help whom?
Children.
Oh, so
The youth of America.
all right. So you're working with his
Data.
children
So
while
Mike,
you're.
you were helping her,
Yeah.
and then you met.
I was like, you need a helping hand.
Okay.
1 + 1 = 4. I'm your man.
All right, so you're dealing with these children, and it's so much burden, and you're doing the Lord's work, and you need to get something out sexually, and so there's this attraction between the two of you. Did you know right away, Brooke, that you were attracted to Mike?
No.
Physically, yes.
Well, okay.
Come on.
Sure, but we worked together for 2 years before anything happened.
Okay, so Brooke, you are very attractive. You have long, beautiful
you.
brown hair. You have it appears to be a very nice body. Mike is not a bad looking guy at all. You lift weights, Mike?
No.
All right, so Mike doesn't work out. But Brooke, what put you over the top with Mike? What at work happened where you were like, "This is I want to take this into a romantic direction"?
Well, to be fair, it wasn't at work. That would be inappropriate.
Listen, it's
Well-
different strokes.
We used to be big drinkers together, and we'd go out, and one thing led to another.
For 2 years, you guys went out drinking without hooking up?
Yes.
Whoa.
A lot of it, I was a supervisor. She'd kind of left that out.
All right.
So I had to kind of restrain myself a lot.
But you wanted to bang her right away.
I mean, yes.
Okay, so you would get drunk. How close did you guys come to hooking up? How many times did you have a conversation, we shouldn't do this?
Several.
Yes.
Multiple.
And Brooke, I take it you were the one that was saying we shouldn't do this?
Yes.
Okay, and how wasted were you when you first hooked up?
Very.
Tell him. It was a long night.
Yeah, I think it started out as a casual drink out at a bar, and then we were with another coworker too. They left. We kept going. We ended up at the strip club.
Tens. Very classic.
Where's Tens?
Salisbury. I mean.
Oh boy, that's got to be attractive. Attractive women.
It was my first time ever there.
Yeah, right.
I remember almost kicking him out of the car. You pissed me off. I don't know why.
I don't remember this.
How did you guys had you ever been to a strip club together?
No, I'd never been to one.
Okay,
at
so you
all.
guys get wasted, but is part of the reason you guys are getting so wasted because you want to hook up, and this will give you the courage to do so?
No.
Yeah.
No.
I think so.
No. I just like you. I had some issues.
All right, you're a big alcoholic.
I wasn't able to drive. I wasn't
Okay.
able to drive. She was my ride.
I was a chauffeur.
All right, well, it's good that you were driving. All right, so you go to the strip club. This is the first night that you get together. So you go to the strip club, and what happens?
The strip club was fine. We weren't there for a super long time, and then
Why'd you go to the strip club?
I think it was your idea.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I literally was blacked out.
Okay,
And I
were
had a
you
phone call at the DMV at 8 a.m. the next morning to get my license back.
okay? Very good. So, all right. So
Had you enjoyed a meal of food together or done anything before you went to the strip club, or was that the first date?
no. They went to.
We were at bars.
They were at a bar.
Okay.
All right. So did you think, knowing yourself, do you think it wasn't enough just to hook up with her? You were also trying to bring another woman into it. That's why you went to the strip
The
club.
person that we were with, I've been friends with for 7 years, and I've been as high as you can be and as drunk as you can be, and I would never. She's a great person, but no.
Okay. Well, I meant the strippers.
Oh,
All right.
the
So
strippers?
yeah.
No, I wish I remember the strippers.
Okay.
back
All
then.
right. So, Brooke, what about him being so blacked out drunk made it like the day that you should finally hook up?
I think it wasn't a good idea. It was. I woke up the next morning and I knew a mistake had been made. He was wearing like 3 times extra large basketball shorts
Iverson.
and a jersey that he looked homeless when I woke up.
Yes.
And I was like, this is a really bad thing that happened. No water anywhere in his apartment.
pineapple
it was
juice.
so parched, nothing.
Okay. So you woke up with
And
regrets.
the water had been shut off
There was
also.
regrets. Yeah, there
Yeah.
was regrets.
There was regrets, but look at this, and now you are very much in love. It's safe to say.
Yes.
We live
yes,
together.
We live together.
Oh,
Good for you.
Wow, after a year. Okay, well, you're on your own there.
Fantastic.
All right, well, very good. It was great to meet you. What a wonderful story. I like the strip club angle. Now here we get cooking.
Well, we do have a question for each of you. And
No, we'll do that third. We'll do that
okay.
last. All right, so this is, we have Steve and Audra. Steve and Audra, now you, Steve, were born in 1962. You were Wallach's age. And Audra,
You're younger than me.
you were born in 1999. Now, Steve, you look every bit as much of 1962. You're a man who is aged, and
Distinguished.
Audra looks very, very young. There's a 37-year age gap. How did you two meet?
So, we actually we're both on Facebook dating, and I didn't really use it. I kind of got on it as a joke. And he slid into my DMs on Instagram. And so it didn't say how old he was. And
How'd you find her on Instagram?
I had it in my bio on Facebook dating.
How did you find Instagram? A man of your age.
So, all right, very good.
My
so,
kids helped me.
Okay. He's like, I want to bang this chick. Get in here.
That's a great line.
So what did he say when he slid into your DMs? It's fascinating.
I think I said something just like, wow, you're really beautiful.
I'm taking notes, by the way. Go ahead.
Okay.
You're very.
Yeah.
You said you're very beautiful. And what about that, Audra? What about his message, his DM to you, got you excited and wanted you to continue communicating? Because we're under the impression if we slide into someone's DMs, they're like, this is disgusting. What about him intrigued you?
He was very sweet. He took interest in the things that I was talking about, random stuff. It was during the pandemic, and I think I was making candles or something.
Oh.
And he was like, "That is so cool! You are so cool. You're gonna have to make me one." And he doesn't care about candles, but he just wanted to talk to me about
Because you're a beautiful blonde woman, and there is nothing wrong with Steve at all, but he does look older than you. Do people think you're his daughter?
We don't get that as much as you would think.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
A lot of the time, we're pretty well received.
Yeah.
Well, of course, you should be well received. Absolutely. All right. So you meet on Instagram, and when do you decide to meet in person?
So he actually blocked me for a whole entire month. We met.
Look at you dog.
Oh, that is so smart. Good for you.
Way to go.
That's awesome.
Oh my
Well,
God.
it would have been really smart if she had noticed.
Right. she didn't notice that you had blocked
her.
her.
She literally didn't notice. I came back a month later and I was like, I'm so sorry I blocked you. And she's like, oh, wait, what? You blocked me?
It's been a month since we talked.
So was it an accidental block, or was this something you had done on purpose?
I honestly started feeling like I was I was getting too into her. I was really starting to have feelings for her and stuff, and I was like, well, this might not be the best thing in the world. She's the age of my kids, basically.
Right.
And so I was like, I got to pull back. And then, I started looking at other dating situations, and every time I talked to somebody else, I'd
You
be
compare him to her.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's very sweet. Now, Audra, I can see why you fell for him. So, Audra, what was it that put it over the top and you guys met in person? When you first met, were you attracted to him?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, maybe there's, something wrong up here.
Had
but
you
I
liked
really
older men before?
I do.
Yeah.
I've always kind of liked older men. Even I just kind of progressively gotten older.
Yeah.
I think I dated a 30-year-old, then a 40-year-old, 50-year-old, and then I was and I thought that he was actually 50, and he thought that I was 30. So there's a little bit.
So I don't have to do the math. What are your actual ages?
I'm 25, 62.
Oh my God, you are such a beam of inspiration,
Well
Steve.
done.
This is beautiful.
All right, thank you two. I'm gonna cry. Thank you so much. All right, who is this next couple that I have?
We have
before?
Betsy and Chris next.
Super Bowl ring.
Yeah, he doesn't even have a Super Bowl ring.
Steven.
Is that an engagement ring?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Nicely done.
Just this past weekend.
Are your kids pissed off?
No.
Okay.
My son actually helped me pick out the ring.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, you two get out of here.
Okay, all right.
Who do I have
Betsy
next?
and Chris you have next. We're going to go right down the middle of the list. Betsy and Chris next, followed by Dave and Becca.
Okay, Betsy and Chris, you don't look like there's so much age difference, but Betsy was the one that signed up for the contest, which intrigued me.
Yeah.
Betsy has a little bit of what is the woman that sang the song? She had
Lisa Loeb.
Lisa Loeb
Yeah.
to her.
Got a Lisa Loeb thing going on.
She looks
True.
like she fronts an indie band. It's very exciting.
Yeah.
And Dave looks like her Chris looks like a roadie. So,
He kind of looks like the merch manager. He's out there selling T-shirts while the gig is going on.
Yeah, maybe not carrying the drum stuff, but yeah. All right, so how did you two meet?
We actually met because we're in a ska band together.
Yes.
Oh my
yeah,
God!
You are. Yeah, you are. Adam,
You have no idea how many points you just scored.
if you ever want to have a devil's
No
three-way,
idea.
you know that guy in there is down.
Yeah.
All right, so what is the name of the ska band?
It's called El Grande.
Okay, and what do you play?
I play the trumpet.
Okay, and what do you play?
I sing and play guitar.
Okay, so you found an attractive girl that plays trumpet in a ska band.
Yeah,
that's like the holy grail, my friend. That's not easy to do. And is this the most attractive girl you've ever been with, Chris, in the biggest age difference?
Definitely.
Were you surprised? How long were you in the band together before you hooked up?
Few months.
Okay, did you tour together?
Yeah, we've gone on little tours like around New England and.
Were you hooking up at that point, or were you not hooking up? Was there a sexual tension when you were touring?
Yes, absolutely.
Now, ska bands are known to have as many as 50 people in them. So is there a lot of this going on within the band?
Not really.
No.
I mean, because usually it's band suicide, if you start, having
And you
sex.
can't break up this thing. I mean, it would be like breaking up the Stones. The great thing about a ska band is after a show, everyone gets $5 because there's 15 people in the band.
That's so true.
I know. It's absolutely true. All right. So you were in a band together, and how long have you been together?
12 years?
12 years, yeah.
12 years?
Congratulations.
Wow. Are you
That's
planning to get married, or are you too artistic?
No, we are. We are planning, but we just never really prioritized it.
All right. Well, I've seen a hot girl in a ska band. All right. Thank you so much. I have to move along. Let's go to Dave and Becca. Becca, move up. Now, this looks like a big age difference. Dave was born in 1979. Becca, 1999. That's a 20-year difference. How did you two meet?
Oh, we need the microphone on. There we go.
Sorry.
At the bar.
All right. So you met at a bar. And now, had you seen each other before? Now, I like, boy, oh boy, Becca, you are attractive too. You have the big nerdy glasses, but you're good looking. And that is something.
Thank you.
All
Like
right.
a hot female version of Rivers Cuomo.
Exactly.
That's what Becca looks like.
Exactly. Like she's hot but attainable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She's like the glasses make her look
Nothing
a little
more
attainable.
attractive, no.
It maybe takes some of the pressure away when you're talking to him. Nick, bring the other couple in. All right, we got to move. All right, so I got fascinated with the people that are the old guy. All right, so so Dave, how did you and Becca meet? At the bar. So was it the first time you ever seen her at a bar, or were you both regulars at a bar?
We were both regulars at the bar years ago. We've known each other for 5 years.
Yeah.
And how long have you been together sexually?
About a year, over a year.
Oh, so you know each other for 4 years at this bar?
Yeah.
Okay, and so and you knew right away, probably when you saw her, you were interested in hooking up with her, right?
Yeah, but it was not really. I was more of a degenerate back then, so
Yeah.
time and place wasn't right. We hadn't seen each other for a couple of years, and then we got back together.
How'd you guys see each other again?
Actually, my dad passed away, and he had checked up on me. And
Oh, I'm
sent
sorry.
me a kind, sympathy message.
Sorry to hear that, but did you know him as a bit of a degenerate before, and had he cleaned up his act a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. So what changed about him? What did you notice and make you think that he was had gotten his stuff together a little bit?
I don't know. He's just family oriented, and I've noticed that more.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you think your father passing away has anything to do with you liking an older man?
Oh no.
Okay.
This was recent.
Okay, this was recent.
I've dated older men for,
Really? We're going to explore that when you come back in. All right, you two get out of here. All right, here we go. Now we have Fred. Fred looks like the kind of guy who's banging a younger chick. Fred was born in 1966. Rachel was born in 1988. Fred has double hoop earrings. That's why we picked you, sort of. Hardy cyberstalked you, and that's why kind of how we got going with this. So how did you two meet?
Technically at the airport bar at Logan on our way out for a safety conference.
Okay, did you know it? You didn't know each other before.
We did not know each other before, but we worked in the same building.
But you work. I don't think that
No,
mic
that
works.
mic is not working.
Can you go to this side of him? All right, here we go.
So we met at Logan Airport Bar. We were on our way to Vegas for a conference. At the time, I was doing work for the union, and I was in charge of, if we went to Vegas with 12 controllers, I was responsible to come back with 12 controllers. So I was doing a head count, and that's how we met.
Okay, so you were like her superior?
No, not technically.
Okay.
I was the vice president of the union of Boston Center.
Okay.
For air traffic control. We're air traffic controllers.
Oh well, that sounds like a distinguished
You're
position.
pushing 10.
Pushing 10. Yeah.
Pushing 10. Look at how Hardy he won't. Can he stand behind you and watch you work? You had him at Union.
You can
had
now.
him at
Yeah,
Union.
yeah.
All right. So, Rachel, when you meet Fred at the bar, are you immediately attracted to him?
Yes.
immediately.
Okay, was it the double hoop earring?
Actually, I bought him those hoop earrings.
Hell yeah, you did.
At the time, I think
want to make sure no one else takes them.
He only had one hoop in one side at the time, but yes, that definitely had something to do with
Putting a
it.
tracker on him. It's like, don't worry. Wearing these double hoop earrings, no one else is going to
Let's ugly this guy up a bit. All right, so you. No, I'm just kidding. So you saw him and you were attracted right away.
Yes.
Okay,
Absolutely.
and so could you tell Fred that she was attracted right away?
Attracted to me?
Yeah.
No.
But you were obviously attracted to her. She's a beautiful woman.
She's beautiful, gorgeous, yes.
Okay.
It was her first time going to Vegas,
It
too.
was.
So right away, I said, you're staying with me. Don't leave my side. Because I could tell she was a wild one.
Okay, so that's
But at the time, it was very innocent.
No, but it's smart, too. Like, you're like, even if it's just to cultivate, just to have her around you just wanted her around you.
Yes.
It doesn't have to necessarily be sexual. And so you were attracted to him, Rachel. When did you finally hook up?
It was months and months later.
Whoa! So you went to Vegas and she stayed by your side the whole time in Vegas and you didn't hook up.
Correct.
No.
That's amazing.
And you both know that you both knew that you were attracted to one another.
Yes.
And did you know that each other knew that the other one was attracted to each other?
I wasn't sure. It was because the age thing. I wasn't sure. I was like, how can this
You were such an inspiration.
Thing be attracted to the...
Oh, I feel that way all the time with everyone.
To this.
Oh, Fred, we have more in common than our names. All right, so did you pine for her? Did you find yourself thinking about her all the time before you could finally hook up with her?
Yes, of course. We
were friends for a while.
But that can be very torturous if you are indeed in love with someone and you're friends and there's that tension. It can be beautiful and torturous.
Were you working together as controllers at the time?
So we worked in the same building, but different areas.
I should hope so. Because you can't be on the scope and have the object of your desire.
Look at you throwing around terminology.
Yeah, Rachel's like,
Fred and I have. The three of us are going to have a short speak. I'm sorry for
Fred,
over your
you're
head.
never going to get rid of him. You understand that, right?
Fred's. Rachel's trying to guide some planes, and Fred's under the table.
Jesus.
All right. Well, look, Fred and Rachel, you're a beautiful couple. I love it. Let's go to break, and then we have 2 more rounds. They'll go a little bit quicker, but I love all these couples. All the women are beautiful. All the guys are charming. What a contest. IHateStevenSinger.com. Steven Singer is giving a beautiful gold-dipped roses to all the contestants, and we have a big, big prize pack for the winner. Hardy, John, and I, it's our responsibility to rank these people 5 to 1, 5 being the highest. You two get out of here. I got to get you out of here. You can't watch the grading. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
Thank you.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy.
like a gorilla.
Half Hardy.
A big, beautiful ball of flavor.
And a whole lot of Boston sports.
And I have had many offers to become an insider.
But Daddy, I love him.
I know that's probably hard to understand, but
Put together, well, first of all, everyone gets their famous gold dip rose, so you all are winners. But someone is going to get the big time prize, which Steven Singer's put together, including a diamond bracelet, a wrapped up in love necklace. It's fantastic. All right. Mike and Brooke. Mike was born in 1985, Brooke 1999. How old are you, Brooke?
I'm 25.
And Mike, how old are you?
39.
All right, 40. Let's just put it at
40.
40. It sounds better. All right, so Hardy has crafted a question for each couple, but this one is for you. Go ahead, Hardy.
All right, Brooke, we'll start with you, and all these questions have to do with your partner's generation, so to speak.
And they're all worth 1 point.
Yes. Brooke, in the year Mike was born, Prince won the Oscar for Best Original Score for what movie?
May, December. I have no idea.
Okay. No, it has nothing to do with the contest. That's a good guess, though. Mike, do you know the answer to that?
Purple Rain.
Of course you do, because you're 40.
Yeah, that is correct.
All right, now a question for Mike, if you have it.
Yes, Mike. In what year was Brooke allowed to have her first legal drink?
2021.
Brooke?
I think 2020.
All right, there you go. Not good at math.
That's no good.
No points there.
No good.
All right, Brooke, did you say that you had always been into older men?
No.
You hadn't been?
No. This is a first. Yeah.
Okay, what about, does his age bother you?
No.
Do you find it attractive at all?
I think he's more mature now than he would have been if he was, closer to my age.
Is he like a wild horse that you've tamed?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, was that attractive to you, the idea of taming this wild man down?
Not really, but I think it worked out well.
Adds a little spice to things once you've already started the relationship.
Yeah, because sometimes if girls find out there's a little bit of a past there, you like that a little bit?
He's got a lot of past.
And you like that, though, because he's dangerous, a little dangerous.
Okay, yeah, I'm okay with it.
Look at you. So understanding.
I'm a bad boy.
And, Mike, we know why you like Brooke. There's no need to get into it. Now, you two get out of here. All right, here we go. Now, this is almost unfair because Betsy and Chris are in a band together and they tour together, so they have intimate knowledge of all things cultural. I expect you to do very well. There's pressure on you here. All right. Betsy, you were born in 1988. That makes you how old?
I'm 36.
And Chris, I know how old you are. You're going to turn 51 this year if you're not 51 already, because I'm a year younger than you. So this gives me great hope that I could get a woman like Betsy in my dreams.
This is the whole design for this whole thing, yes.
Yeah, that was the design.
Ideas.
That was the design.
All right,
exactly.
Betsy, a question for you regarding Chris. As a young boy, Chris undoubtedly watched a TV show about a group of blue creatures that captivated the world. What were they called? Debuted in 1981, a cartoon show about a bunch of blue humanoid creatures that everybody watched. Chris undoubtedly watched it and was captivated by it, as was everyone else. What were they called?
Chris, you know it, just nod your head.
Smurfs.
Oh!
That is correct!
Betsy, you would have been in deep water had you not gotten that right.
Well done.
All right. Betsy, you are in a ska band, so anyone knows what's going through your head. But, Betsy, have you always liked older men?
No, I wouldn't say that. I did have another boyfriend who was 7 years older than me.
That doesn't count.
I mean, I guess, but I don't know. It's not really about age for me, I wouldn't say.
That's very, very modern and very, very smart. Every woman listen to that. It's not about age. He's more established. It's better, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay, so
we have a question for Chris also.
Okay, go ahead.
Chris's question.
I apologize. I got all excited.
When Betsy graduated high school, she undoubtedly danced the night away to what artist who brought sexy back?
Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
Wow, these guys are unbelievable.
Well, they're in a band. They tour together. They experience art together.
Very impressive.
Are you guys active right now, the band?
We're playing in Massachusetts tomorrow.
Where? I'll let you plug it.
It's actually in East Hampton.
Okay, where?
I think it's called City Space.
All right. And how do people find the band online?
You can go to elgrandemusic.com.
ElGrandeMusic.com. It has tour dates. It has music. It has everything.
It does.
And aren't you glad streaming's a thing? So you get nothing.
You guys played us on Thanksgiving.
We did.
You did.
Oh, Adam, you wonderful, wonderful man of you.
Well, I can't take credit for that.
Oh,
We
you
didn't
didn't
do
play it.
Thanksgiving this year. But in the past, we played them, and we will play them in the future. I'm
All
looking
right.
them up right now.
Well, look, it was fantastic. I like that you guys are together. You're both beautiful people. Let's move on to
Thank
the
you
next
very much.
contestant. We have Dave, who was born in 1979. That means you're 46 or turning 46.
Turning 46.
Okay, yeah. It's very at our age. It's very important.
Yeah, I know.
Becca's the very beautiful Lisa Loeb type. She was born in 1999. That makes you 26? 26. All right, you're 26 years old. All right, your trivia question.
Becca, Dave was born the year before what president was first voted into the White House? So again, he was born in 1979.
The look of sheer panic.
So he was born the year before what president was first, big hint there, voted into the White House? He was a two-termer.
That's not a bad guess. He was the president.
That is incorrect. Dave, do you know?
That would have been Ronald Reagan.
That is correct.
Listen, but who can? Becca's so attractive. Who could blame
All right,
her for not knowing that?
Dave,
she doesn't need to know those things.
This is a math one for you.
Okay.
In reverse dog years, how old would Becca be right now?
In reverse dog years, is that like 3.5?
Wow, he nailed it. 3 or 4 would have been acceptable. So you,
All right, that's a point right
you
there.
know Becca very well.
Becca, you do have quite an age difference. You have a 20-year age difference. What have you always liked older men?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, this is interesting.
Right up on the mic.
Right up into the mic. What about older men captivates you?
You know, I would say the maturity level, but sometimes you find immaturity in age too, like older age. I would go with maturity level though.
Were you like
Very-
attracted to Captain Kangaroo and stuff as a kid? Has this been your whole life?
I actually collect Beatles albums.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, and they're very old. I mean, they're about to die. 2 of them already have.
Yeah.
All right, but have you always found yourself attracted to that even when you were younger? Like when you were 18, 19, you were attracted to older men?
Yeah, I've always dated people older than me.
Oh, well,
I mean,
fantastic.
when I was younger, only by a couple years.
Okay, well, there you go. Well, listen, Dave and Becca, you're both absolutely lovely. And let's move on. Fred and Rachel.
Yes.
Fred was born in 1966. And that makes you how old, Fred?
58.
You're 58. And Rachel was born in 1988. And that makes you how old?
36.
Okay, let's get to the trivia questions for you two. Go ahead. Hard A.
Rachel, how many years was Fred alive before the first man walked on the moon?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Do you know when the first
only
men
like
were...
2 or 3.
You know what? I'm going to give her that.
Yeah, why not?
3 is the correct answer. 3 years before a man walked on the moon. Fred, for you, in the lingo of Rachel's generation, what does the term catfishing mean?
Oh, that means pretending to be something that you're not.
Wow, that's it. We're going to give him that one, too.
All right.
Yeah, well done.
All
well
right,
done.
now let's go to Rachel. Rachel, the focus is on you.
Oh boy.
There's such a large age difference between you two. Have you always loved older men?
Actually, he's the first really older guy that I've ever dated.
Really? So it was more about him than it is like some
It's
pattern in your life.
Absolutely 100% about him.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
And so, did you feel like you were taking a chance being with someone so much older than you?
1,000%, you know? And it took a long time for us to get to the point where, you know, we were comfortable with each other, but it's the best decision I've ever made. So.
And have your parents met him?
Love him. Yeah, my dad walked me down the aisle. So,
That's
yeah.
lovely.
Oh, really? I didn't know you two you're married.
Yeah, we've been married for about 2.5 years now.
Oh.
Mazel tov.
Did you know
Thank
that
you.
already?
No.
Well, I didn't know you guys got married.
Yep.
You put a ring on it. Did you know you were going to marry her right away?
No.
Good for you.
No, am I
Be honest. Did you sign a prenup? You're a union head.
She makes more than I do.
Oh, well, listen, you've won everything. Listen, what a fantastic couple. Thank you, Fred and Rachel. Now get out of here.
Oh man, you look at my life.
There we go. All right, let's go to Steve, who was born in 1962. And that makes you how old, Steve?
62.
Okay. And, whoa, what fun. And Audra, you were born in 1999, which makes you how old?
25.
All right. You slid, Steve, knowing how to work the computer, slid into your DMs. You saw him. You liked him. Love blossomed from there. Hardy, the questions.
Question for Audra. Audra, this is a simple yes or no. Was Steve born, or I should say before or after, was Steve born before or after the Civil Rights Act?
After.
Oh, I am so sorry. It's actually 2 years before the Civil Rights Act of 1964.
Yeah, you were allowed to do whatever you wanted until that happened.
I think we have to change up Steve's question because he's tech savvy.
No.
You
Give him
think
the
so?
question that you got.
All right.
If he gets it right, he gets it right. That's fantastic.
All right. Steve, 62 years old. What is Chat GPT?
It's a computer thing that can make conversation for you and make.
Describe it. You described it perfectly.
Well,
Don't worry about that.
I was
You described it just like I would have.
I was going to change it to what is Pokemon.
Oh, well, that's unfair. I don't think Audra even would be into that. Now, Audra, you take the mic and just
You
put
could
it
do
right in front of your
Pokemon. You would have gotten that one right too. That's kind of the point.
Adolfo somewhere is pining for you. All right. Again, this is on YouTube. You might want to take a look at this couple. It's something to see. All right, Audra, the beautiful Audra.
They really are a lovely couple.
They won me over.
They're real
They won me over. And she's got an engagement ring on. All right, and he's got his hands on her. It looks great. All right, so Audra, have you always liked older men?
Pretty much.
Okay, this much older.
No.
Okay.
So I believe earlier you said you first dated like a 30-year-old, kind of like started there and just kind of like ramped it up and decided.
exactly.
Okay, all right.
Okay, but this wasn't like a fetish of yours.
No.
Okay.
Definitely not.
And when you saw his Instagram, because I'm still fascinated by this, he slid into your DMs. He said, "Look at you, you're beautiful," and you saw him, and you saw his Instagram page, and you went, "This is a potential mate."
I think I said, let's give it a shot. You know, it was during COVID.
Wow, something positive happened for you for COVID?
Yeah.
Oh, something bad's going to happen in the future. That's not fair. All right, look, well, you're lovely, like Hardy said. What a lovely couple. Now get out of here. We have voting to do.
Okay.
Steven Singer is in here. All right, John, it's time to take the microphone because in a minute here we're gonna break now, but we're judging these couple, 5 being the highest through 1 based on how they met. Why the woman, because the women are all younger, like older guys, and their proclivity for older guys, and then plus they got a point if they got a question right. So let's get going. We have a lot of work to do. Here are the headlines.
Sports Hub headlines.
Celtics lost to Dallas at TD Garden 127-120. Kyrie Irving 19 points against his former team. Jaylen Brown 25 for the Celtics in the loss. They'll visit the Knicks tomorrow night. ESPN is reporting that with a couple of open roster spots to play with, Brad Stevens yesterday signed free agent wing Torrey Craig. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown both drafted onto Shaquille O'Neal's team for the upcoming All-Star break. The NBA trade deadline came and went yesterday. Celtics did not make another deal. The biggest trade of the day came from Cleveland. They got DeAndre Hunter from Atlanta. Marcus Smart traded from Memphis to the Washington Wizards. Buffalo quarterback Josh Allen was voted NFL MVP. He barely beat out Lamar Jackson for the award. And the Pro Football Hall of Fame announced its latest class last night. 4 guys in there: Eric Allen, Jared Allen, Antonio Gates, and Sterling Sharp. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Grey Goose and Patron. Ski, sip, and score with Grey Goose and Patron. Visit 985thesportshub.com/ski-sip-score to discover winter cocktail recipes like the Grey Goose Espresso Martini and the Patron Cranberita. And enter to win the Ultimate Ski Package. Must be 21 or older. Sip responsibly. I'm John Wallach of Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 9.
news, get podcasts, and more. Get it where you get your apps or at 985sportshub.com. What's the best way to listen to Toucher and Hardy?
Well, you're going to have to spend $40.
Cough it up, and let's get back to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
But Daddy, I love him.
I know that's probably hard to understand, but
You'll be a woman soon.
Yes, it is Toucher and Hardy, and our extensive coverage of the Super Bowl 59 is presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more with FanDuel. The great Steven Singer from IHateStevenSinger.com is in studio with us. He has rubbed elbows with all the radio greats. It's a true pleasure having you in today, sir.
Thank you so much for having me.
You can finally see how a JV operation works.
There you go.
Explain why the contracts are so short.
Yeah, you found that out. All right, so here's the deal. We put out a call in honor of, you just heard, Bill Belichick and his 24-year-old girlfriend. He's so old and so old-looking and fat, and she's an in-shape, attractive 24-year-old. And look at them. They're making it work. So we said, can we get May December romances? And we had about 50 entries. Unheard of. A girl involved? My God. So the women showed out. So if you want to bring everyone in.
We have 5 couples that we narrowed it down to. All 5 couples showed up.
I know. And
for
they
the
all,
broadcast this morning.
And Steven Singer has given them all one of his famous gold dip roses just for coming. We have Mike, who's 40, and Brooke, who's 26. We have Betsy, who's 37, and Chris is 51. You have Dave, who's 46, and Becca, who's 26. You have Fred, who's 59, and Rachel, who's 37. And you have Steve, who's 63, and Jesus Christ, Audra's 26. All the women are beautiful. All of the men are the way you think they do. And that is how we sit here today. Beautiful women, all right, guys, but they're all guys who've won life because they have what every man desires deep in their heart. The love of a younger woman, the vibrancy that a woman who's lived this life less than you, that you are sure you will outlive. And then she thinks, I will outlive you, and then I will get myself a younger man once you are dead. And for some of you, that wait's not long. All right, so here we go. We judged you on a scale of the way that you met.
Yeah, we call that the meet cute.
Yeah, I don't like that, but that's what we're calling it. At 5 through 4, 5 is the most points won. So you want the highest score. This ain't golf, Hardy.
Yeah, I understand.
Then we did trivia. You got a point for each question you got right. If you didn't get one right, you didn't get any points. Then why? Because all the women happened to be younger. Who would have thought? The younger women, they explained why and if they had a thing for older men. And we thought about that in the relationship and how that played in. It's all, and that was numerically ranked 5-1. Highest score wins. John, go ahead. What was you thinking?
What, am I telling my winner here?
I want you to take us through. You have a little bit of time to take us through the process.
Very good. My process at the beginning. I got to say, I have a soft spot in my heart for guys that are as old as I am. So, Steve and Audra, you scored big during the first round. I'm very pleased because I can't imagine dating someone younger than me. So, congratulations to both of you. I like the story of air traffic control. I like the story of safety conferences. You both couples ranked very high there as well. Mike and Brooke, I liked your story. You didn't score well during the trivia, though. So that did not work out well for you. So that was my thought process as we move through the judging.
Okay, and who had the most points on your scorecard?
Steve and Audra, you are my winner.
You
are my winner.
Let me go second, and you'll find out why. I broke the mold. Mike and Brooke, I thought you did very well with the first part. I ranked you very high. I liked your relationship. You got no trivia right. In your meeting, you guys worked together, and it took you forever to get laid. So that wasn't so great. Yeah. Betsy and Chris. Betsy, it's fascinating. This one's fascinating. Betsy is 37. Chris is 51. While you're together, I didn't get. You were kind of shy. I didn't grade so high, but then you did got 2 points with trivia. Then I thought you were outstanding, Betsy, Betsy, on why you are into older guys. You look young, and you're with a guy who looks his age. So I gave you a very high score for that. Dave and Becca, you are in a ska band together.
No,
Dave and Becca.
Yeah.
That's
the one you were just talking about. We're in the ska band together.
Oh, Betsy and Chris were in the ska band together.
Correct.
Oh, okay. Same thing. You got 2 right in the trivia. I apologize. And then Dave and Becca, I've explained you. You did very, very well, Becca. You as a couple, but you got 1 trivia. Fred and Rachel. Fred is 59. I got this right. Rachel is 37. Fred. And Rachel has tamed Fred as they were going to Las Vegas. You did very well in trivia. Your meeting in Vegas and not hooking up in Vegas, I didn't love. You came back wonderfully, though, Rachel, with why you like older guys. And who hasn't fallen in love with Steve and Audra? Steve, who's 63, and Audra's 26. They make it seem less weird than it is. I gave you you won round 1. Then you got 1 right in the trivia. But Audra, I didn't believe you. I didn't believe that you don't have a fetish for older men. So according to my scale, let's see here. 1, 2. Wait. So it's Mike and Brooke, Betsy and Chris. They're not in order. Yeah, you guys aren't in order. It's switch. Yeah, that's why I'm screwed up. It's not my fault.
No. Every day.
Jesus Christ.
Every day.
It's not my fault. Mike and Brooke, Betsy and Chris, Dave and Becca, Fred and Rachel, Steve and Audra. How about this? I have Dave and Becca winning. They got the trivia point, put them over the top. So there's 1 vote for Steve and Audra, 1 vote for Dave and Becca. Hardy, will you break this horrible tie?
I appreciate it. And I have to say, I am enamored with all of these couples. Mike and Brooke, your story of meeting up as social workers, working with children, the joke writes itself. I mean, I'm sorry, Mike. It really does. Betsy and Chris, the musical love affair that you two share is inspiring by itself. But they're just so damn cute. And I could say the same thing for Dave and Becca. Just adorable. All of you, I just want to put you all on a plate and sop you up with a biscuit. Each and every one of you. Fred and Rachel, and again, through my research, I didn't find out a lot about them as couples because I went down the air traffic control rabbit hole. I know. And then I got really interested.
You got totally lost.
I got really interested.
You heard union and you got a boner.
Like all that stuff, I just, whatever. I find it most interesting, though, that they had a drunken, work-sanctioned time away in Las Vegas and didn't hook up during that time. And it speaks to the longevity of their relationship and true love. That is why I had them in a tie with Steve and Audra, who, Fred, you absolutely said that captured everyone's hearts. Yeah, you missed out a little bit on the trivia, but there's something about you two that is just so pure and honest. And I had our last 2 here in a tie, Fred and Rachel and Steve and Audra, in a tie for first. So, no, I cannot necessarily break the tie unless someone else has done the math and has a winner for us.
Well, Steven Singer, it is up to you. An outsider. Man who just walked
I have
in.
to break the tie?
You have to break the tie. What is the tie, Hardy? You tell me.
Do we have a tie-breaking question?
I don't know that there is a tie. If both of us have at least 1 top vote for Steve and Audra, but I tied with someone else. Fred had a tie with Steve and Audra and someone else.
No, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't have Steve and Audra as...
No, I had the full winner was Dave and Becca.
And I had Steve and Audra as my full winner.
So they get a half winner from me. So Steve and Audra are actually the winners.
Yeah, there you go.
There we
Steve
go.
and Audra are the winners.
There we go.
What brilliant execution by us. Steven Singer, Dave and Becca, they won my card. Is
well,
there anything?
can I put my 2 cents in?
Yes, please.
Go right ahead.
First of all, I'm very impressed that none of these girls are inflatable that came here because I thought at least one guy would come with somebody you have to blow up. But they all are very, very attractive, very, very nice. So the winning couple is going to win an I Love You rose and a Valentine's Day red rose. They're going to get a little display holder that holds it. They're going to get an all wrapped up in love diamond necklace, which we've sold out of online, so don't try to buy it now. It's too late. We used artificial intelligence to predict this, and we should use real intelligence. So we are out of these now, so this is a collector's item now. And they're going to get a wrapped up in love diamond bracelet to go with it, so they're going to get that. But, excuse me,
What's the name of your product, Stephen?
I'm an idiot. That's the name of my product.
At last. Wrapped up in love is the necklace.
Right. And then we're going to give all the people, everybody.
Oh, look at that. Whoa.
This is something brand new you don't know. Everybody's going to get this all-around diamond bracelet. It's one of our new creations. This is called At Last.
At
and
Last.
It has baguette cut diamonds, which are long, thin diamonds, little round diamonds. It's got a hidden safety clasp that goes all the way around your wrist, so it looks perfect all the time. And we're going to give all of the couples one of these.
Everyone gets the diamond bracelet?
Everybody gets one.
So you all
And
get the gold
everybody
dip
gets-
rose and the diamond bracelet. You're all wonderful people. Steve and Audra, congratulations. You could make a lot of money on OnlyFans, the two of you. There is someone out there that it would be willing to pay a lot of money to see this go down. All right. Thank you all. You're all wonderful. Everyone's a winner here thanks to
Love
Steven
is the
Singer.
real winner here today.
IHateStevenSinger.com. Thank you to all the couples. We shall be back.
Toucher and Hardy, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Mavericks tomorrow night. They also did not make another deal at the deadline yesterday. However, Brad Stevens added free agent wing Torrey Craig through free agency. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown were drafted on a Shaquille O'Neal's team for the All-Star tournament next weekend in San Francisco. As for those who were active at the NBA trade deadline, they include Cleveland. They got DeAndre Hunter from Atlanta. Marcus Smart traded from Memphis to the Washington Wizards as part of a 3-team deal with Sacramento. Buffalo quarterback Josh Allen is the NFL MVP, and the Pro Football Hall of Fame announced its latest class last night. It includes Eric Allen, Jared Allen, Antonio Gates, and Sterling Sharp. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Rodenheiser Home Services, now offering up to $2,000 off a new heating system. Book your free estimate today at Rodenheiser.com. I'm John Wallach of Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 9:30.
This is Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown turns the corner. Finger roll is up and good. Score to the foul.
Listen to home of the Boston Celtics, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Toucher and Hardy.
Such an fantastic explosion.
98.5 The Sports Hub.
I mean, we're going to play through him. You know, obviously I have the ball in my hands too, but when we have that post-up threat, you know, AD is able to get into the mid-range. And
more that I am a real Celtic fan because I was just so disappointed last night in their effort. In the doldrums of the regular season and seeing the Celtics go up and down and not play well at home. I think that's the most disappointing thing I'm seeing right now with the Celtics. And how do you improve that? How do you get off to faster starts? I mean, that's one for the record.
How do you explain last night, Max? Because that was startling what happened to them last night.
It was just hard to fathom. Every time they come home and, you know, you went on a road trip and you won 3 games, a tough game in Cleveland. And essentially you had enough rest and just came here and laid an egg. Something about this, John, I believe seems like whenever there's a very good player or a great player on the opposition that goes out, the Celtics play down to the level of the competition. And they didn't bring their A game. Klay Thompson looked like Klay Thompson from 10 years ago, knocking down shots. Kyrie controlled most of the game, and the Celtics never were really in that game. And I love your call at the end when you said the game was never really close. It was never really close last night.
How much credit or credence do you give, Max, to a team like Dallas who has had this emotional week, this roller coaster, and even without their new acquisition playing last night, it's kind of like and I heard somebody mention it last night, and I was thinking of it too, kind of like what happens to a team when they fire a coach. They go out there and they feel like they've got something to prove, and they channel all that emotion into one game. How much credibility do you give to that theory and why Dallas played like they did last night?
I think they played well. I'm not sure just for one game, and I think a veteran team does that.
Yep.
And they're a veteran team, and they played like it last night. They shot the ball extremely well, and the Celtics were so clumsy with the basketball. We started off, Sean Grandy and I started off at the beginning of the game and said what the Celtics didn't need to do. And one of them was turn the basketball over. And they did that continuously. They were butterfingers for most of the first half and were close. They shouldn't have been within 10 in that game, especially in the first half. But it's just hard to explain.
What happens when the bench comes in and cuts that lead to 10? Is it a matter of the way Dallas is playing, or is it a matter of the effort that the Celtics are putting in?
I think it is the effort that the guys off the bench put in, but also the other team letting this guard down. When you're up by 25 or the game is out of hand and you put other people in, you just kind of let your guard down. And that's exactly what they did. Those guys off the bench shot the ball extremely well, played hard, didn't turn it over, and they got back and got close in the game. But it was more like a false job of being in that game. It just seemed like it was over in the third quarter.
And during the game, Max, these things kind of feed off each other, and I happened to catch some of your broadcasts with Sean last night. Everything they were throwing up in the first half was going in. Contested shots, open shots. There was no break for the Celtics, and for a team that's, for lack of a better phrase, kind of stuck in mud here for a couple of months, that didn't help either.
Yeah, when you shoot the lights out of the basketball so nice, you're not going to stop other teams. But I think the biggest thing about that game was there were a lot of uncontested shots in that game. Klay Thompson is a shooter, so you have to realize that from the beginning of the game. Here's a guy who's played against the Celtics, averaged about 8 points in the last 2 or 3 times you've seen him. But last night's game, you didn't pay attention to detail. And you let him kind of run amok early in the game. And once he got started, the rest of the team kind of fed off of that.
All right, so going forward, you're looking at Dallas now, and Anthony Davis seemed, really engaged on the bench last night. Do you think that team is going to be able to somehow get back to the levels they were before? I mean, Kyrie played well last night. The addition of Anthony Davis, is that a team you'll kind of be watching to see how they progress with the changes that have been made?
Yes, and I think that this Dallas team has played OKC well. They beat OKC a couple of times and beat them even at OKC in their home. I think that the additional Anthony Davis makes them that much tougher because he's long, he's athletic, he can block shots. And the fact that he does not want to play the center position, you got guys like Gafford who are there. What's the difference? Oh, he doesn't want to play the Joker one-on-one because the Joker has ended his ass every time you see him. So now he has somebody else to take that position. It takes the pressure off of him. I was surprised last night that he did not play. And the reason I say that is because I wouldn't want to have my first game going back to Dallas and what's going to go on, which is going to be a powder keg. They're talking about protests all over the place, but Luka being gone, and I just wouldn't want that to be my first game. I would have rather played here in Boston, got some of the pressure out of the way, and then gone back to Dallas and play for the next game.
I heard you talking about that actually on the radio, and like even at this stage in his career, do you think that like that fan response, does that have effect on you as a player?
Oh yeah, it definitely does, especially at home. For me, I think I was built different. When I got traded from the Celtics, I was booed in every city in America, I think, except when I came back here to play in Boston. They hated me when I was with the Clippers. My other teammates get introduced, and they would just boo the heck out of me when my name came up. But I love that kind of stuff. Some guys aren't meant for that. They don't play well when they're contested like that, especially with their fan base. So for me, for him, for that particular team, I think that I would just want to get off the snide. That just is. It just seems like I talked to some of the Dallas officials and the radio guy for the Dallas Mavericks. He said it is going to be ballistic in Dallas for this next game. Luka, it's going to be Luka mania. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there.
Who got booed more on the road, you or Ainge?
Me. They didn't care about snotty nose Ainge. That was Danny Ainge. Who was Danny Ainge? Later on, Danny got booed, but I think Danny was okay. But I think initially, I think I definitely got booed a lot more, and especially anytime I went to Philadelphia. I always say, even today, I'm still, public enemy number one when I get down there. When I get off the bus, I said, I'm wanted here, guys. I'm wanted. They want me. I'm on the wanted poster.
Yeah, but you want that. Philadelphia, you own them.
Max, I did a game with you. You were picking fights with the people behind us.
Yeah, I mean.
Whoa, John. What goes on the road stays on the road. John, you don't tell what I do when I'm there.
Now talk about John's infidelity.
It was on the radio. We heard it.
What the hell is going on? John,
Max,
John
we had
talked
live
about
mics in front of us when it happened, Max.
John, I'm talking to a guy on the sideline. Sometimes I'm off the air. I go out in the stands later on before a game, and I say, we got to get this game tonight. And I'm pumping, fist bumping people. And I was like, they say, yeah, we got to get these Celtics tonight. And I'm like, yep, let's go Celtics. So I do that kind of stuff, John. John, make sure you don't tell that kind of stuff when you're on the air, man. You're being a secret spy right now. Don't do that.
My mistake. I'm sorry.
Snitches, John. They get damn stitches, okay?
Boo, John.
I can make an argument though, Max, that it was not probably would have gone badly for Anthony Davis had things gone according to script and he played last night, because what could have happened, he come in here, his first game as a Maverick, Mavericks fans are watching it on TV. They get blown out by the Celtics, and he looks ridiculous out there. They may have ended up booing him even worse when he goes on the home court for the first time. Now, that didn't happen because he didn't play and the Celtics didn't show up.
I would not want that. I don't like that as a player. I don't want to, again, if I want to make my debut, it's just like me, somebody saying, what do you want your first shot to be when you step on the floor? A three or you want a layup? I want a layup. And there's like Al Horford said that for a while. Give me a layup and then that gets me going. What you have is a three when you're going back home to Dallas. It's going to be, I would love, for me, because I am that kind of person, and I know you guys are that kind of people, you're going to stay tuned just to see how ugly and nasty it's going to get. There's going to be security out the ass in that building because of what could possibly go on, for that particular game. I'm not wishing them any bad luck, but man, they're going to have to stay on their toes because those fans were past upset. They were past upset. They were mad. They were furious. I saw clips of them. It looked like it could be really nasty.
Once again, demonstrating, Max, you said this many times before, you can play in today's NBA, and that's another reason. You want a layup for your first shot. They don't shoot layups anymore. You would have to take the three. That's the only shot you can take.
You're pretty much right. But last night, and speaking of Dallas, they got a bunch of layups last night.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
they took layups. They took all kinds of shots.
I know.
What you say about the three, sometimes it's like putting it back in your pocket. Now, there's one positive thing about last night's game. Looks like Derek White is kind of back to being Derek White. Mm-hmm. This game against the Knicks, a very important game for the Celtics, and I believe the Celtics step up and they're going to play really well. They like the stage at Madison Square Garden. They like the stage of going down to Miami. But this Madison Square Garden game versus the Knicks, that is going to be a game to watch because the Knicks are trying to show you something, but the Celtics are still trying to say, I am daddy.
Okay, well, Max, more to this point. Now there are 30 games left. I ask you every week whether or not you think the Celtics are going to find themselves here. The trends have not been good for a long time. Are you not worried still that this team is going to find itself?
No, I'm not worried. And the reason I'm not worried, I think they have a veteran team and they can play well. What bothers me about them, John, is they have an on and off switch. And that's the only thing that bothers me. Sometimes I see them, turn the switch on and they play really well. And then they'll just kind of drop their guard. But I think in the playoffs, it's a different animal. All hands on deck, no second night with back-to-back. The opponents aren't going to trick you with gimmick plays. And the Celtics, I think, are talented enough, especially if they can play with their starting five and have some guys come off the bench like Pritchard, that they can compete against any team right now in this league. And really, in a 7-game series, it's like looking at that Cleveland game. What did that tell you? Looked at that game and told me that Cleveland is not going to beat the Celtics in a 7-game series. I don't see that.
All right. Well, listen, Cedric, I love listening to you call the games. You're very informative. Like the stuff about, going to a city and getting booed in your first game is only something only a player who's experienced can relate to. We appreciate it. Thanks for coming on, as always.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate it. And hello, Mrs. Wallach. Nice talking to you.
And just know, in his back pocket, he does have stories of what you do on the road, John.
Whoa, hey,
John,
I went out and ate at a couple of places, Miss Wallach. I need to talk to you about a couple of things later on.
Yes, if you would like to meet for lunch, you know Cedric's number.
Playboy
obviously.
John, that's what they call him out on the road.
I mean, listen, if you looked like that, you would be doing it too. All right, Cedric, thank you so much. We appreciate it. There you go, the great Cedric Maxwell. He thought that was funny.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
look,
he did.
everyone needs to relax. When you have people in studio, it's a lot.
Yeah.
They were all great.
I thought that went very well.
It couldn't have gone better.
Yeah.
I mean, it really couldn't have gone better.
Yeah.
So, it's good. And Steven Singer was cool, so it all worked out. But there's a lot there.
A lot of pressure on Hardy breaking the tie, though. A lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Handled it well.
Yep. It just shows there was no predetermination.
Yeah.
It was as clumsy as it was ever going to be. All right. You want me to do this here? Okay. All right. We'll be back in just a moment.
Stay tuned for more Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
All right. You've heard a lot about how treating low test.
blunt honesty.
I am not known as Mr. Fun.
Toucher and Hardy continues on the Sports Hub.
You know, I got an idea for a bit. The email bit. We should do the email bit. It's a great idea. Let's do the email bit.
All right, we're Toucher and Hardy. If you want to get in touch with us, you can go to 985thesportshub.com. It has our email addresses. Follow us online. You put a picture up of all the couples? Did you put any pictures up there, Nicholas?
We're working on that. We're working on getting the video cut. It's been a busy morning.
Why? And so we'll have all that stuff. How many YouTube people do we have watching?
Oh, good question. Do you have a number on that, Nick?
Right now, we have 1,200. So that's high usually.
We were up over 2,000, says Ryan
Oh,
during,
nice.
during the segment. So that's good numbers for us in the morning.
That's like 1/10 of what my daughter, the people that she looks at, have on their live thing.
And it's nowhere near Lou Holtz. I mean, we got a lot of ground to make up.
Well, Lou Holtz has 80 million
80
listens.
million.
Right. He
80
said
million.
he said that in seriousness. That
80 million uniques.
80 million people listen to his podcast.
That's crazy.
Lou Holtz thinks he's walking around the earth thinking that 80 million people. And then we said, how many people watched the AFC Championship game? And it was like 35 million.
It's 50 million.
Or 50 million.
50 million.
50 million. So he has 30 million more people listening to his podcast than watched the AFC Championship game.
Well, that's what they tell them.
Yeah, but that's mean. It's like kind of mean. Like he's walking around saying it on, like cut it out of the podcast. Like don't let him say it. Like he's walking around thinking 80 million people. He's doddering around thinking 80 million people are listening to that crap.
I think the editor of that podcast has more important things to focus on.
Well, they're not editing it well. But I'll tell you this, is that if you would like to follow us on social media, at Toucher and Hardy on Instagram, you can follow me at Fred Toucher as we try to get to 26,000.
Are we closing in? Are we close now?
I got to put up more content is what the thing is. And at Hardy985. All right. What did you get? Let's hear what you got.
From Steve. Trying to reach my frugal brother, Adam 12, but since his email is not on your website, I'm hoping you can forward this to him.
I'm here. Fire away.
Adam, we are cut from the same cloth when it comes to spending money. There's no better time of the year to stretch a dollar than your birthday month. I'm signed up to a lot of rewards clubs and memberships for local restaurants, and I'm willing to share my expertise about which establishments offer the best deals for your birthday.
It's adorable that he can afford to eat out at restaurants. That's great.
I've been honing my craft for several years, and if you're interested in which restaurants offer great deals and which aren't worth your time, just let me know. I'm happy to connect. Remember, a penny saved is a penny earned, Steve.
I like the cut of your jib, Steve.
So Denny's used to do a free grand slam.
Oh, yeah, on your birthday.
A free grand slam on your birthday.
All you have to do is say it was your birthday. You didn't even have to show proof.
John and I both know what we're about to say. You guys don't know this. You do it. So Dan Roach.
It's my favorite Dan Roach story.
This is how happy Dan Roach is. He goes to 7-Eleven and he gets a Slurpee, and the guy goes, "Okay, yeah, it's free." First of all, Dan's getting a Slurpee. And second of all, the guy goes...
At the age of 60.
Yeah, when's the last time he had an effing Slurpee?
But he's treating himself on his birthday.
So he gets this Slurpee, right? Like, so the guy at 7-Eleven, he puts a Slurpee up. The guy goes, "You can take it." Dan, in his mind, goes, "Oh, wow, I just got that for free because it's my birthday." Now, how the guy at 7-Eleven would have any idea it was his birthday is not of any consequence. But the reason he got the free Slurpee was the free Slurpee day. They were having a promotion where you got a free Slurpee.
On July 11th.
July 11th.
On July 11th, on 7-Eleven. So he, as an adult, and it's such a great way of thinking, his instinct was, wow, how nice, that Slurpee's free. He must have known it's my birthday.
So the way I retell the story is that Dan said, "You know what? It's my birthday. I'm going to treat myself to a suicide slushie. I'm going to get a little frozen cherry. I'm going to get a little Coke. I'm going to get a little orange Fanta. I'm going to mix it up and dip." And walks up the counter and he goes, "Hey, bub, how you doing?" "I'm doing pretty good. It's my birthday." And the guy says, "Well, there you go. Well, that's free for you to Thank you, kind sir.
Yeah, that's worse. That's worse than just
That is
assuming
worse.
it's your birthday.
Yeah.
It's going up and announcing it to the guy at 7-Eleven.
Which is why I tell it that way.
Yeah, right. You can get through the smell.
You guys are diabolical, says Matt. You bring all these girls with their partners, girls that you know prefer older men, and then you parade Wallach and his smooth pipes and avian beauty in front of them. I'm not sure how they're staying focused. Well, they did manage to maintain.
You know what's interesting is none of them met on a dating app. And the people that did meet through social media was the oldest dude. So I guess the lesson there is just shoot your shot. Like, go in. Because now we're conditioned as men to think that if you, like, express interest in a woman and she doesn't have interest in you, like, you're in big trouble. Like, if you're just like, hey, I'm interested in you, and she's like, no, I'm not interested in you. Like, oh, no, I've done this terrible thing.
Okay, now that they're not here, we and I would have said this in front of them anyway, but did you shake hands with Betsy, the ska player?
I did, yes.
Yeah,
Did you know anything about her handshake?
Firm
handshake.
He's playing the
Very
trumpet.
firm.
That'll do it.
Firm handshake.
Did you know her, Adam?
No. And I've not heard of the band, but I'm following them on Bandcamp now. It's Bandcamp Friday, by the way. Everything you buy on Bandcamp
So
today.
did you
Thanks,
did you find her more attractive because she was a trumpet player?
I have to be honest with you guys. I didn't really get to look at anybody. I was flying in and out of here and keeping the wheels greased. I said a quick hello and a greeting and a quick goodbye. I didn't really make a lot of
He had stuff to
assessments.
do. He had stuff to do.
Apologies.
I
I'll
looked
look
at
at
them
the
all.
video later on and let you know.
She's good looking.
They were all attractive.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's very inspiring.
Yeah.
Audra,
the
it
woman
could have
who
been
won?
depressing, and it was very inspiring.
Audra, the woman who won, was a delight.
I am just as blown
If
away.
he
as,
can get her,
Yeah.
you know,
I like
if
the
he
story.
can get her,
just by saying, nice candles.
What's up?
That's all it takes.
and when he was leaving, he goes, "It is love." Like when he was leaving outside, he goes, "It is love," and I'm like, I know.
Congratulations.
But it is, I mean, it is inspiring. He saw a girl on Facebook and then saw her Instagram account, went to her Instagram account, slid into her DMs, and then there you go.
Can you believe that Fred and Rachel went to Vegas and got all banged up and didn't bang?
No,
For
I didn't
months
believe that.
afterward?
I didn't believe that for a second.
Well, I believe them. I don't think they're lying about it.
No, the only thing that I thought out of the couples, and I said it, that was maybe will come out later, was the couple that with the real big age difference, that with the 20-year-old with the 60-year-old guy.
Yeah.
That she's not in some way, like genetically or whatever mentally equipped to like or mentally prone for older men. I find that because I don't think that just comes out of the blue. How many 20-year-old women, if like a 65-year-old guy, like normal 65-year-old guy, DM them, are not going to just go, oh no, like just ignore it. The power of the DM. What an inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
What an inspiration.
Who knew? It's an intimate conversation in an otherwise mindless, anonymous forum.
But they all met, and then the rest of them all met in person, which shows you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
What
Maybe
are you
you're
going to
doing
do?
it wrong.
When am I going to meet anybody? What am I doing? You know my schedule. In all seriousness, you know my schedule.
Just go play a little pickleball.
Yeah, I mean, that's really the deal with the devil, that I'd have to choose all that vagina that comes from playing pickleball thrown in my face.
You offered it up to him. Of course he's going to say that.
You know,
I'm trying to give him ideas, John.
Okay. That one went over well.
Vic, go ahead.
Hey, guys, I just wanted to commend you on that was a great show. My wife was so hooked that she let me drop my kid off late. She actually watched with me on YouTube. Normally she tells me to turn you guys down or put headphones on, but she was so hooked, and so I think it was a good show.
Thank you, Vic.
Good job, guys.
And that is available on YouTube for eternity. That will be on YouTube, so you can go check that out. And if you subscribe to 985 The Sports Hub, you can tell your friends, and then they will see the video as well of all the older couples. And if you're like me, 50-year-old single guy, you look at that, you say, there's a little spring of hope.
Mm-hmm.
A little piece of green is coming out of the vast, deep brown of my life. Poop, poop. Poop, poop. All right. Anything else? I'm spent. Does anyone else have an email?
I have an email, but it insults you, Fred. You in the mood to be insulted or not?
Sure.
All right. John, I finally broke down and used a YouTube feed to watch the contest. Loved it. Some thoughts. During breaks, YouTube has the staff pictures rotating. Fred's smile looks like a man arrested on January 6th.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a terrible, terrible, terrible picture.
So what are you saying? He's a patriot? I mean, I don't know how that's an insult.
Well, I'm not in trouble anymore.
That's right.
It's
That's a good point.
it's a terrible, terrible,
It's a new sheriff in town.
terrible picture. And my fear is someone's going to go, oh, he's on the radio, that's Fred, and then they're going to go look it up, and it's going to be that effing picture.
Yeah.
And they're going to go, what a hideous monster.
Yeah.
Even more than would normally be a hideous monster. It doesn't even look like me anymore. I don't like that photo. How hard is it to take a photo? I want a black and white one where I'm standing there with a little smirk.
You have to have your arms folded like you're real serious.
How about we do it David Lee Roth style, where we have a sport coat on, but you opened up one side, it's got a crazy colorful lining to it.
Yeah,
all
like-
buttoned up on the outside, but inside, waka waka.
Yeah, like a lady on the streets, of animal in the sheets, that kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Do you
Like,
remember-
I can dress up for the party, but after the party, we're going to get loose.
Do you remember the Opie and Anthony billboards they put up when they brought him back and put him on mornings on BCN?
No.
They were the stiffest, worst photographs.
I remember
of
those.
Oh, I do
any
remember
tip-
those.
Like,
Yeah.
like, guys, look cool. Wear shirts that you would never, ever wear. No, don't button the cuffs. And they had him standing there. I'm like, oh, God, I don't know what they're trying to appeal to or who they're trying to make them look like, but it didn't last for a whole very long anyway. How long were they on before you
6
went to
months.
mornings? Yeah.
It's funny because I've never seen Anthony without a T-shirt and a
Right.
button down over it.
Right.
Like, literally never. On YouTube or in person or anywhere. I've never seen Anthony
What a
without.
series of decisions by radio executives those years. My God.
They should have just put Opie and Anthony on in the first place. They should have just made a deal. If they should have just put them on in the East in the first place. If they weren't going to go local in every market, we're talking about when Stern and they put David Lee Roth on. Because Adam Carolla had a good show, and he was West Coast. Then they put the kid from Cleveland and Chicago, and you know that market. No one like Stern didn't do good in Chicago. Chicago, you got to be in Chicago. It's a big enough city. Pay for it. You know, pay for your own show.
Yep.
And then, I mean, Steve Dahl, there's huge stars, radio stars came out of Chicago. And then if they were going to go the East National, why didn't they just get Opie and Anthony to begin with? Because what they did is they looked. I know the story.
I don't think they couldn't get them fully out of their.
They
satellite
could have.
contract.
They could have. They weren't that valuable at that point to XM. They had merged with Sirius and they had Stern and they were paying Stern all that money. They probably would have been happy to do it. So they let him do it anyway. I mean, they just had to do the walkover, but I mean, they let him do it. So what they did is they went and when they were looking for a replacement for Howard Stern, they went to all their ideas were Jon Stewart, Trey Parker, and Matt Stone from South Park and see what they can come up with. And then when they all said to go screw, they said, instead of saying, let's get a successful morning show or put someone on with some talent, they went, oh no, let's just put a guy who's never done radio before and is a singer and have him broadcast to literally tens of millions of people. They should have just put Opie and Anthony on. But what they really should have done is invested in talent and put their own talent in the morning, radio people. And the worst thing that happens is they fail and nothing's on the line. Because what is there, like 16 markets he was in? How many of them are going to fail in under a year? That's hard to do. So you and then you figure 8 of them hit, 10 of them hit, right? Like they grow into it. But they were so dumb. And they're radio people. Ugh. Still bothers me. All right, look. We will be back with the stack, and then we all get to leave. Big game today in Concord at 4:30.
Oh.
Because I
What
missed
school? What school in Concord you got to go to?
It is called the School for Juvenile Hall.
Okay,
No, it's called Middlesex School.
Okay.
So if you're going to the Middlesex school today, I'll see you there.
Right.
All right, we'll be back. Here are the headlines.
Sports Up. If your alarm clock sounds like this is the show for you. Toucher and Hardy, the Sports Hub. We know what you're thinking. What could I possibly have missed from the show? It's time for The Stack on Toucher and Hardy.
Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy. Our coverage of Super Bowl 59 is presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more with FanDuel. And we have not talked about the Super Bowl one time.
We have other people
no,
who will be
from
in
the show.
attendance.
I would hope so. It's no party at all. I'd feel very put upon.
Yeah.
But there's supposed to be a big snowstorm.
Yeah, but that'll be gone by morning. It'll be fine.
You're on top of this stuff. How much snow are we supposed to get?
Between 6 and 9 inches of snow, but it'll be gone by 8 in the morning. Plenty of time for you to fire up the old snowblower.
It'll be done snowing by.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Don't say it'll be gone like it's going to be 50 degrees and it's going to
The
melt.
weather, the snow, the precipitation will be gone.
So I'm going to wake up on Sunday and there's going to be 9 inches of snow.
Correct. That's what the weather people are telling us.
That'll be fun.
Well, that's going to suck.
It's going to start late on Saturday night and be done by morning. But overnight, really bad.
All right.
And it's got something at 10 in the morning. I wonder how that's going to go. I'm not taking a shovel to my driveway.
No, why would you?
I refuse.
Yeah.
I'll put that
commoner.
I'll put that son of a bitch in 4-wheel drive and let it rip.
Sure. That's why you bought
can't
it.
Stop me.
I got my son out to shovel with me yesterday once everything stopped.
Yep.
And I'm like, all right, let's go. We got to, this be quick work.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'm in the garage for 5 minutes, kind of like passive aggressively not starting until he comes outside. He comes outside in shorts. And I said, go back inside and put long pants on, please.
Mm-hmm.
Why? I'm like, because it's freaking cold out here, and like, I half expected him to be wearing flip-flops or slides and shorts. Like, go put pants on, please. And then I couldn't wait. Then my blood is boiling. So I had, the walk done and the first probably quarter of the driveway by the time he was able to put pants on and make it down outside. Then he starts shoveling, like going down the middle of the driveway, picking up like a shovelful of that heavy, wet snow, and then walking it over to the side to dump it down. I'm like, I don't even know what to do. I don't even know what to say other than go from the middle and push to the edge. You don't see it. I'm bigger than you. I'm stronger than you. You don't see me lifting shovelfuls of snow and walking with them because that's not good.
I've never heard of that.
That fool. How dare he?
Wow.
By the way, the idea that your son would come out to help you is you're taking that for granted. That your son actually came out. First of all, he's smart. He was deliberately killing time.
I know what he's doing.
So it's smart. I mean, he was being smart. A, B. It sounds like something I would do. Is just pick up. I recall picking up a lot of snow, and I don't know what the hell.
Yeah, but you would never go down the middle of the driveway.
Start shoveling from the middle?
I don't think it's ridiculous, a ridiculous notion, but
you do one path down the middle, then you push out to each side.
If I asked my daughter to go do that, it would be funny. Like it would just be funny. Like, and it would be not worth. Like, she's great and she's with me all the time, and like she comes with me like to get Milo and go to the games and stuff. But if I asked her to go shovel the driveway, like the amount of talking I would have to do until it actually happened.
Yeah, there's a lot of conversation. But in this case, I wasn't in the mood, and I just said, no, we're going. Let's go. Very quickly, Adam 12 this weekend.
Ooh, yes. Let's talk about this weekend.
Boston's only band called Beef.
Oh, I love Beef. My buddy Perry's in that band.
Of course.
Let's clip that.
They're
save that for later.
They're playing this weekend at the Rockwell in Somerville. Will you be attending?
Absolutely, and I'll pay good money to go there.
Wow.
No. Support local
$15.
music. Speaking of, Fred interrupted me rudely earlier. Today is Bandcamp Friday. Anything you buy on Bandcamp, today, all of the money
it's a charity.
Goes to the artists and the labels that put out the music. Thank you, Hardy. Continue.
You act like that's a charity, like you're doing something good.
It's good.
You really are proud of yourself for that.
I'm proud that people are getting into it. I'm seeing it grow. It's a good thing.
Oh, it's not going to grow.
Revere Beach Winter Wonderland.
Do you go to the shows and buy merch?
Yeah, I'd actually like to buy the merch at the shows because the artists get more of a cut than if you buy it on a website.
Of course. Yeah. It's a cash exchange.
Adam, Revere Beach Winter Wonderland. Attractions like a professional ice sculpting competition, chili cook-off, and a chance for the kids to meet Anna and Elsa from Frozen. Will you attend?
He's all over that.
Nothing in Revere's for free.
It is.
Give me one more. We got time for one more.
Tom Brady lookalike contest.
No.
Timeout Market. Seeking local dude who bears an exceptionally strong resemblance to the winningest quarterback in NFL history. Winner gets $200.
Too bad I don't look like Tom Brady.
It is
very
free, though.
Esoteric, specific contest. Like, you know what? Where was it? I'll plug it. Where was it?
Timeout Market, 401 Park Drive, Boston.
Okay, my suggestion is that if you want $200 and you live around there, show up, because you got as good a chance as anyone.
Yeah, it's good advice.
Even females, like, just go.
Yeah.
You might be the only one. I harken back to Lansing, where we had a trip to like Aspen at a grocery store, and we couldn't get someone to take it. Like, that's how repelled people were by us.
By the way, Tim Heidecker is doing a show Monday night at the Royale.
Oh, that's right. Playing music.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not that good.
Never mind.
No kidding.
Sorry, Tim.
No. That's a very hit or miss proposition.
You like Randy Newman, you'll love Tim Heidecker records. Yeah.
I love the joke of the urine one, but
yes, that was funny.
Yeah, but not a whole album.
No,
the one song.
They're not
is funny.
continuing to put albums up, but good for him. If he's selling them and people are showing up to the shows.
Is he going to play Get Your Poke On?
No, he's going to play I'm telling you, he plays music that sounds like Randy Newman.
Okay.
Is it reminiscent to Steve Martin when I saw him in Martin Short and I paid a lot of money when he had a banjo?
I heard all about this. Yeah.
That was not. I left. I actually left. All right. That'll.